Hello, people. Welcome back to another live. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and yeah, welcome to another Champions League preview stream. Look, we did this similar last time, and yeah, this should be fun because like quarterfinals. This could get hectic. This could get hectic. This could get mad. There's going to be box office people with all the fixtures going on. But listen, people, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Make sure to subscribe. Obviously, as usual, joined by Alfie. Big up to Alfie for joining, as always. But also, and I've got a special guest, as we have for the last Champions League preview stream, man like Omar. Omar, how you been, man?
Hey man, happy to be here, Mike. Man, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. West Ham aren't playing in a few days, so I'm fine, man. I'm fine. I'm surviving, bro. I'm surviving. I get to watch other teams instead, so I get to take my mind off my own club. But listen, like Champions League, man. Champions League, like it never like as much as football is like terrible nowadays. I'm always interested in what's going to happen in the Champions League. I'm always interested to see that outcome. So we might as well start with you, man, Omar, because like you got Dortmund at home in the first leg. How has it been at Barcelona? It's come remember the time. Obviously, a bit of a hectic title race. You probably got the best title race in Europe right now. I'd probably say. Obviously, a three-way title race. It's been tough. I know, like Hansi Flick. Like, there's always a debate with when it comes to Hansi Flick. Every time I go online, I always see different opinions. Obviously, I saw a video that you said the other day about like whether Lamine Yamal was playing too much or not. Like, I'm interested to know what's the atmosphere like at Barca right now. What's the mood currently, and what is your confidence going into the game against Dortmund? Because they've been struggling this season, so I'd assume you go through. But I want to know from your perspective, bro.
I mean, if, as far as the mood is concerned, I think the mood is absolutely great in the club right now. I think it's been a while since I would say Barca fans have been like this optimistic about the club's future, right? We are basically in our competitions. We are basically fighting for every single trophy as it currently stands, and we are in a very, like you mentioned, we're in a very hectic title race. We've just reached the Copa del Rey final, so that's one of the cups finals in the bag, and we've already won a trophy already this season, the Spanish Super Cup. So I would say that so far it's been a great season personally for me, right? And as far as this game is concerned, it's very interesting because if you really look at like the past few since the international break, the amount of games that Barca have played, we play like 3-4 games in like a week. It's ridiculous. Like within a short 2 week span, we play like 3 days, right? Like after the international break, we played like 2 days after the day after the international break, we already played, right? And yeah, our play. The last game we played in the group in La Liga was against Celta Vigo on Saturday, and honestly, the players were extremely exhausted in that game. Like you could see, we drew the game 1-1. Guys like
Yeah.
Yamal, guys like Pedri, you could see they were not as they didn't have that drive. Like, and the problem is because the biggest issue is that we're playing so many games, countless games, right? And it's getting very stressful for us, right? But when it comes to this game against Dortmund in the Champions League, it's different. Like we've only since our opening game when we lost, I'm sorry, against Monaco, we haven't looked back since. We've still not lost a game. We've been in an incredible streak. We did well in the round of 16 against Benfica. And look, when it comes to Dortmund, in Europe, they're not bad, right? We've actually, funny enough, played them in the Champions League earlier in the Champions League. We beat them 3-2 at the Signal Iduna Park earlier. So, to tell you the truth, I do believe 100% we are the favorites, and I am confident into this game. However, I just hope that fatigue doesn't affect my players in the game against Dortmund. That would be our biggest enemy, I think, in that game, right? I'm not underestimating Dortmund at all. I think that in Europe, Dortmund have this nag where if you really sleep on them, you're going to regret it. You understand what I'm saying, right? So I don't think we will. I think that Hansi Flick will actually give these guys, like he would make sure to give these guys the kick up the ass that they need in the game to not underestimate them. But honestly, the only thing that I think worries me is the fatigue of the players. I hope the players can be able to handle the pressure, and honestly, the dream is getting a big win in that first leg, and it's kind of killing it off because I think if we go away to the Signal Iduna Park, I think the players will definitely feel the fatigue by the time we play on next week Tuesday.
Yeah, obviously with all those games, like coming together, then do you like? And obviously, with the title race, you're in the Champions League. Like, you, people would say you got somewhat easy, right? You've got nothing easy in the Champions League, in my opinion. Like, who you come up against? And do you guys you play better in the Champions League, or is it the Liga? Do you think you can have a balance of both? Like, does the quality drop off in a certain fixture? Do you guys handle your fixtures well, like in a week, as you guys are fatigued? Like, what's been that situation? How have you handled that situation? Because you guys are used to, being in these competitions. To be fair,
Yeah, but I mean, listen, we've definitely handled it very well, to be perfectly honest. Oh, by the way, Mike, Steve is actually a Bayern fan, by the way. He's not a Newcastle fan, so you might as well send him the link as well. So I'm sure.
I did send him the link. I did send him the link.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So far, I've been impressed with how well we've actually dealt with the fixture pileup, right? We haven't lost a game. Like, we played a lot of tough games, like playing Osasuna. We won against Osasuna on Thursday. We won again on Sunday in a derby against Girona. We beat Atletico Madrid away, right, in the Copa del Rey semifinals. And obviously the Betis game. Betis are like one of the, like, they are, I would say, apart from Barca, they're like the second informed team in La Liga apart from us, right? So they were not going to be an easy game, right? But the issue is this also, Mike. You have to understand, our squad is not as big as many people think it is. And one thing, and I've given all the credit in the world to Hansi Flick, right? I think he's done an amazing job, and I'll never question the manager. But if there's one caveat that I've always, whenever I look at Hansi Flick, the biggest problem that I have with him is his lack of protection for some of our younger players. You understand what I'm saying? Like, guys like Jamal have been overworked to death ever since this international break, since he came back from international break. He's been playing game after game after game, almost 90 minutes in every game. And in that game against Betis, you could see like you could say that the picture pile up and the amount of games he's played got to him. You could see he wasn't making his runs anymore. He was gassing out. By the time the second half started, he was already gassing out. And I'm like, this is not what you need. Why do we keep doing this? I even made a video about this on my channel where I'm like, I don't understand why Hansi Flick. I get it. He's one of our best players, right? And we're in a title race. We're in a cup final, and I get it. He has to play in games, but you can't tell me when we're playing against teams like Osasuna. Sorry. If we're playing teams like Osasuna, where we're 3-0 up, comfortable, why is Yamal still playing? Why is he playing 90 minutes against Osasuna when we're 3-0 up? Right? Why is he playing why is he playing against 87 minutes against Girona when we are 4-1 up? Like, these are the problems that these are the things that I always have a problem with when it comes to Hansi Flick. Because guys like Pedri, because if we lose either Pedri or Yamal, I think that is the end of our season. If we're gonna win, if we're actually serious about trying to go for the treble, all these two, most importantly, have to be part of the squad. And if we lose them, we're definitely not gonna go. We're not definitely gonna go out of the Champions League, or even lose in the cup final, or even lose in the league, because all it takes is one big injury. Because we've already lost a player in Dani Olmo, so losing another one of these key players is gonna be catastrophic for us. So Hansi Flick needs to learn to be able to deal with this and trust some of the players. Like, why is the guys like Ansu Fati? Like, I get it, he's not part of your plans, but you don't have any options. You've got all these games coming up. You gotta trust your squad. There's nothing you can do about it. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta trust the team. So that's what it comes down to. And this is the thing. This is why I was disappointed in the game against Betis, because I said, listen, I get it. It was a integral game, especially considering Real Madrid lost earlier that day, right? So I understand why he played his best team. But the problem is, you gotta, like, at the end of the day, if you're not going for the win, then please get Yamal and Pedri off. Give them the rest, because I want to win the Champions League. I want the Champions League. So at the end of the day, I want these players to be at their best in that game against Dortmund. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's not over, Mike. It's not over. The picture pileup is not over. We literally, on Wednesday, we're playing on Saturday against Legacy. And then we're playing on Tuesday against Dortmund away. Right? And then we come back to the weekend again. Bro, it's ridiculous. For the rest of April, we're just gonna be playing 3 games every 3 days. Games every 3 days.
Well, I will say though, I am impressed with well, not impressed, but I think the Spanish teams are kind of proving to all the Premier League lot that love to make excuses that we can compete at all fronts at the top, and we can have injuries, we can have the fixture pile up, and we're not going to say fuck all about it. Meanwhile, in the Prem, you hear, but we had injuries. Like, listen, like, shut up, man. Just shut up, man. But listen, big up to Liam and Steve for joining as well. Everyone's links is in the title, people. Everyone's links is in the title, so please subscribe to everyone. Alfie, I want to bring you into this. With Barcelona coming up against Dortmund at home first, obviously Omar just described their situation. Obviously, Dortmund have struggled this season as well. Like, from an outside perspective, what have you made of Barcelona this season? How do you think their chances will be against Dortmund?
Well, I think you have to look at the players that Barcelona have got in the squad at the moment. Obviously, you look at the likes of Lamine Yamal, you look at Ousmane Dembele. No, sorry, not Dembele. You mean you look at Rafinha. You know, forgive me. But yeah, I think you have to look at their squad. I mean, you look at the players they've got. Yes, they've had some injuries, but I think a lot of the difference in the way that to Barcelona than it is to say like the Premier League clubs is you look at the pace of the game. There's the pace of Spanish football is a lot slower than in England. So I think you got to.
I don't know, man. You watched the Leicester Newcastle game tonight? That was not high tempo shit. That was...
What's the score? I didn't actually know. I didn't actually
3-0. We won.
Oh, you won?
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, but Leicester are straight autismo though.
But I agree.
But you were like 3-0 up inside the first half an hour, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve. I was watching Gambia versus Tunisia in under 17, bro. We just got knocked out. So yeah.
Okay. All
right, go ahead.
But yeah, but if you look at the way that Barcelona have played this season, I think they've done incredibly well. I think you look at Hansi Flick. A lot of people thought I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought he was going to come into this Barca team and struggle, but he's done fairly well with the players that he's got. Obviously, like Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski still kicking about at his age. And then you look at the opposite side of that, and you look at Dortmund, who are coming off the back of being last season's Champions League final, and all of a sudden have had a massive drop-off in the way that they've performed. What that could be the reason is, I'm not too sure. Liam, you might have to tell me. But
I mean, you say that, Alfie, but it didn't. Liam will tell you. Last season, Dortmund were not good in the league either.
Very true. Very true.
They were only good in the Champions League, and it's the same thing I think this year as well. They've been poor in the league, and they've kind of only been okay. They've been better in the Champions League than they've been in the league.
Yeah, but for me personally, I think Barcelona are going to get the edge over Dortmund in this one. I think it will be a very, very calm performance at the Nou Camp. Try and put Dortmund away early, and then go to the Signal Iduna Park next week and finish the job.
Shout out to Josh for the redirect as well. You might be joining as well, but shout out to everyone that's come from Josh's channel. Thank you guys for joining. Steve, what are you making of Barca versus Dortmund? And obviously, you literally got a whole VAR room in your house, so you've seen every league in the world, every game that's ever existed. So, what's your perspective from a neutral angle?
I think, because recently Dortmund have actually, Kovac has switched to 3 at the back. In the past 2 games, they played Freiburg and Mainz, who have actually been really, really decent this year. I mean, Mainz are what? 4th place, I believe? Yeah, they're 4th. And then Freiburg are in and around that mix for Europe. Bundesliga is really tight from about, 3rd place to 9th. There's only 8 points. So when they play all head-to-head, it's obviously super close. So they got 2 good wins. They scored 3 and 4 goals. I think Dortmund can get goals in the game against Barca, but I think Barca can outscore them. So I don't like the matchup for Dortmund, even from if it's a shootout, yeah, Dortmund can get some goals, but Barca will just score more. But if it's a defensive thing, I think that's the way that Dortmund can maybe get something out of the tie. Because defensively, Barcelona, you can get at them at times. You can. Because they have pace in behind with Bino Gittins. They have pace with
Adeyemi.
Yeah, Adeyemi, definitely. He was decent on Saturday versus Freiburg as well. Bayer is pretty quick. So I don't think Dortmund will advance, but it could be closer than people would think it is. And also, nobody had Dortmund getting to the final last year, and they were playing pretty similar.
This is why, Steve, in my match preview, I said, at the end of the day, I'm not. People, many Barca fans are saying, "Oh yeah, we got the easiest draw. Look at how bad Dortmund are in the league." I'm like, bro, they were poor last season and they still went to the Champions League finals. So I am not underestimating them.
And the second leg's in Germany. If they can get like,
this is why I want to
win.
win. This is why I want to win. This is why I said I want a 3-0, a 2-0, something where we can like open the gap and where they have to actually like come out and actually attack us. You understand what I'm saying?
You invited this guy.
Alright, allow
Big
it,
up,
man.
Josh.
Allow it.
Come
Nah,
on,
big up,
Josh.
guys. Big up.
Big up, Josh.
Right,
But,
Josh.
I think it's going to be interesting, with Barca Dortmund. I just think it's going to be a mad matchup where it's like that could be just chaotic. Like I can't lie, it might just be.
They played in the group stages, and it was what 3-2 Barca.
3-2.
Yeah,
I think that's
it
all
was
you need to
game.
know, really.
Yeah, we did. We beat them 3-2. And to be honest, it was one of those games where, bro, defensively they were very poor, and even we were bad defensively, but we were just okay enough to just outscore them. It's just like you mentioned earlier about outscoring them. That's what happened in that game.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say about Dortmund is defensively they've already. I mean, today they've just confirmed that Schlotterbeck won't be playing against us, so that's a big.
He's out. Yeah, he's been one of their decent players. Yeah.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, he actually got injured when we played them earlier in the Champions League. Remember, he got injured like in the 90th minute, and he actually got stretched off.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. He's just unlucky. He's had a
There's rumored today that Gittins is pushing to leave as well.
What's that?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Gittins is pushing to
apparently
leave.
wants to leave. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's bound to move in the summer. I feel like there's been so many rumors around him for the past year and a half that he's just bound to move. And especially when an English player goes abroad, they're always linked back to England like straight away when they start doing well. Like Marcus Edwards.
Same with
Italians.
Italians in the EPL.
Yeah.
Tonali's always fucking linked with the move back.
Bro, Scamacca was at West Ham for 2 months and he was linked to AC Milan 2 months later for something for West Ham. Like, I mean, he did go back in the end, but yeah.
But no, I look. I don't think Dortmund have the. I mean, I think Dortmund have the better goalkeeper, but that's the only thing I'd give them in favor.
I mean, come on, Chesney has been doing well.
Chesney's been doing well, but
that can take a game, Steve. I know you were working that day because I spoke to you, but if you went back and watched the game, especially in the first leg when we were 10 man down, we won that game.
No, he made some good saves. I saw. Yeah.
But he smokes more cigarettes than he does saves, bro.
Hey, he's a maniac, man. I can't believe he's still. I know he's about to retire and that, but like, bro, he's a maniac.
Man, I love it, man. Smoking.
Yeah.
He smokes in the locker room, just walks into the pitch, and then keeps a clean sheet, man, or some crazy stuff like that. He's a man.
You can tell as soon as Barca wins something again, he's gonna be like the first one. Some bullshit, bro.
He's smoking the fattest cigar in the Champions League celebration. Watch.
Yeah, he's gonna look like Conceição, bro.
He will have his cigar out if we win the Champions League. Watch.
Liam, from your point of view, obviously, like Dortmund are your like rivals. I know you lot batter them like all the time, but still, like in terms of league titles and that, like. But when you look at Dortmund and the season they haven't, do you think like they could just have the energy of taking their eye off the league because they've been so bad in the league and just their eyes on the Champions League and that make them a bit better against Barcelona? You think?
I can see from that perspective, but they're just trash, mate. They got a trash manager. The guy that set Flick up to win a sextuple. Has he done that with your club yet? Man?
Funny story, man.
That with your club yet?
You know, Liam, that's a beautiful story, man. Hansi Flick versus Niko Kovac, the guy who actually.
But yeah, man. He won us a sextuple. Anyway, I'm talking about Dortmund. I'm going off on tangent here. Realistically, could they get something out of Barca? Yeah. They could because I didn't think they were going to beat Lille, and they did.
I didn't either.
So can they get something out of it? Yeah, but the likelihood is Barca's going to put them away probably in the first game. To be honest, I hope not. I want to see Omar's tears. Don't get it twisted. I'm here, bro. The bottle's ready to fill up. Pause. But yeah, man. Hopefully, To be honest, if there was a way to eliminate both the scummy teams, I would. But that's not possible. So,
who would you rather
yeah.
go through?
Dortmund, because if we somehow go against, not go against Inter, we are going against them. Get past Inter, which I don't think we're going to. Then we will smash Dortmund. I think Barca still have a good chance of smashing us like they did.
But you see, this is why I'm not underestimating Dortmund. Because here's the thing: in the game against Lille, I think a lot of people expected Lille to win.
Yeah.
And even and you know what's funny? I think I said this to you, Steve, like that week when I was on your channel doing when you were doing MLS Watch Challenge. I said, even though I think Lille have the better chance of qualifying because they've actually been playing better, Dortmund are just one of those teams where if you sleep on them, that's when they actually decide to wake up. You understand what I'm saying? For some reason,
They like the underdog role.
Yeah, they just exactly. This is why
they don't play well as like favorites. They really don't.
If you've seen Barcelona in Europe, bro, for the past 6-7 years, we've been the kings of like having been favorites in a tie and somehow, some way battling it. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I hope, at the end of the day, I trust Hansi Flick. At the end of the day, I think Hansi Flick is different, but still, regardless, Dortmund have shown you underestimate them at your own peril. But that's why I don't think we will. Because I think Hansi Flick will remind these players that, listen, don't forget this Dortmund team reached a final last year when no one expected them to. So just remember that. Do not come into this game with any cockiness.
Yeah, no complacency. You can't have complacency in the Champions League no matter who you are. So let's be real. And listen, that's coming from me, bro. For somebody who's never ever going to see their team in the Champions League, bro. Even I know that.
Wow.
But
might be a Saudi takeover, bro.
Hey, listen, if there's a Saudi takeover, I'll go extra shameless.
Mike, you'll definitely see West Ham in the champion.
Bro.
To be fair, though, Mike.
Steve, 10 years ago when you were supporting
you have a European trophy, Arsenal don't.
Steve, imagine Steve 10 years ago. I told you. Imagine 10 years ago, I told you would be fighting for top 4, you'll be in the Champions League, and you see your team win a trophy.
Exactly.
When you were in the relegation, when you were in the championship 10 years ago. I'm just saying, Mike. Don't never say never, Mike. I'm just saying,
Nottingham Forest are probably going to be playing UCL ball.
I know. We just got to have David Sullivan pop his clogs.
Huh?
We should have David Sullivan fuck off, and then maybe we have a chance.
Yeah. That's in your lifetime, you'll see West Ham in the champs at least once.
I hope so.
And also, here's the thing, also, Steve, Mike's right. Right now in the Premier League, it's so weird because last year Nottingham Forest were challenging for relegation, and this season they look like they're going to be in the Champions League.
Exactly.
It's true. So that's why I'm saying.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. You don't know how next season will go with Potter having his players.
Yeah,
you guys could just go insane in the league.
Not with Potter. I'm sorry.
I'm just Steve. If you told anybody that Nuno Espirito Santo would be in the Champions League, challenging for Champions League with Nottingham Forest, would you believe it?
No, because I thought they were going to get relegated.
That's my point. So
our chance is
realistically, the Prem is shit, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's our only chance of doing it. It's because the Prem is so shit that you never know.
Josh doesn't know, bro. He's been going for a title for 3 years and not won it once.
Speaking of,
I'm getting attacked today, bro. This guy is on me.
It's like the last time this happened. The last time this happened, you got rushed. Bro, it's that picture in the background.
Man, put that picture of me in Simeone suit and all that.
That killed me, bro. But yes, speaking of, before we get,
I can't do that.
Oh.
Before we move,
he ain't got his green screen today, man. With all the like 25 images of everyone. Man.
Before we move on from Barca Dortmund, Josh, what do you think of the title? Like from an outside perspective, if you somehow get past Madrid, are those the two teams you're watching for Champions League?
Yeah, but firstly, Mike's bless up having me on, man. Big up the panel as always. But listen, for me, I think this game, I mean, I see Barca as one of the favourites to get to the final. I honestly see El Clasico final, in my opinion. But I'm sorry, Liam, mate, but they'll do you like they just, let's not forget in the group. Let's not forget in the league phase, mate. What happened? Yeah, the league phase absolutely destroyed you, mate. Yeah, they destroyed you. Your ex-manager.
Out of the Champions League, we won the treble. So anything
can But no, I see Barca as favorite. At least gets the final because I feel like they have their manager there. Obviously, they have the players right now performing. Rafinha's on absolute smoke. Lewandowski again. I mean, he's goal machine this season. Pedri in the midfield doing bits for them. I just feel, I heard what you guys are saying about Dortmund. I know they're like, and Liam will know this. I think they're like 8th or 9th in the Bundesliga.
8th.
Yeah, 8th. They're having a.
Bro,
They may not be able to make European
bro.
football.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you must be loving it, bro. As a Bayern fan,
up top,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. But
those piss pricks are down the bottom, bro.
But in the Champions League, they just seem. I mean, as you guys said, like I did not expect them to beat Lille as well. You know that surprised me. You know they got a really good result in that one, and obviously last season I don't think many people expect them to make it all the way to the final. You know, and they put up a decent
Nobody
fight in the
expected
final
them
as
to get
well.
out of the group.
Yeah,
A lot
exactly.
of people.
Exactly.
So expect them to get out of that group.
Dortmund just seems to be that different sort of underdog team, like they can cause an upset in Champions League.
Yes.
But I think Barca will have too much to them. I think Flick has that experience already of winning this competition with Bayern Munich. That I will not surprise me if he does it again with Barcelona this season. I honestly think the way how they, play under Flick and the players that they've got this season, I think they have too much of Dortmund, man. And I think Dortmund could put up a good fight. I think we saw it in the league phase, that the 3-2, really good game. But I think over 2 legs, I do see Barca just about progressing over Dortmund, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I think we're all quite unanimous on that. Like, Dortmund will put up a fight, but also have too much for them. Like, I feel like that's going to be the case. You never know in the champs. Like, I've seen mad shit happen in the Champions League, but honestly, like, I can't. As much as I can't call it at times, Barcelona at home first. I almost think like as much as you want to be the away team second, I feel like when a team has done that bad in the league and you're competing for that many competitions, I feel like with your confidence that high, you could easily just put them to the sword in the first leg if you don't play it a little bit naive. Like, just if you just play to how your strengths are, you can easily just put someone ahead, like put someone aside, in the first leg, and then the second leg don't even matter. But let's move on. Obviously, we've got two.
Sounds like 8-2 setting, bro. That was one leg.
For God's sakes. Hey, Liam's always on one, Liam's
He's
always
some
on the
smoke.
Always, bro. Always ready.
The thing with Liam is, you know what you're gonna get whenever you have him on a stream. Like,
You
just know that. Like, I was like, you know what it is? Whenever like I do a stream with Liam and Liam is just there being quiet, I just count the seconds. I'm like, just counting before he gets it. Like, you just know it's coming. It's just coming at some point. It's coming.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, of course. Like, hey, luckily, if my team were any good, I'd be holding the same smoke. I just know.
Oh yeah, wait till next season. If you're challenging for 2 ballers, it's going to be absolutely annoying.
Hey, no, I'm not even like that. I'm the kind of guy like even if we had like Saudi, if we had like Saudi money, I'd still find some way to be negative. That's the kind of guy.
100%, bro.
But yeah, listen, it's time to move on. We've got 2 of them in here, so we might as well start praying now.
Pray for Madrid, guys.
Pray for Madrid, guys. Listen, Arsenal
Bro,
against Real
don't do
Madrid.
this again, bro.
David versus Goliath.
No. I think you misinterpreted, Liam. It's not pray for Madrid. It's PREY, not pray.
Hashtag pray for Madrid.
Did you actually put that hashtag? I was like, nah, that's actually great. Like, I don't know who thought of that, but that's actually very smart.
Yeah, I saw Lewis say the same thing as well, bro. I was like, bro, they're too quick, man. They're too quick. But listen, Alfie, start with you, bro.
There you go. What are your J?
Hey, Alfie, start with you, bro. Big up Zia for joining as well.
Who invited this pussy on?
Listen, like Alfie, Arsenal Madrid, bro. Obviously, I kind of know what your perspective is already, but at the same time, man, like, do you think there's any chance? You're at home first. I know a lot of top gooners, they keep gooning over like, your team and stuff, but like at the same time, bro, you never know in the Champions League. You never know in the Champions League.
It's true.
Regardless, I'm still shitting myself. Regardless, I know what Real Madrid are capable of, and I know that we're as inconsistent as fuck. Like, we put in a fairly decent performance against Fulham in that 2-1 win, all to go and barely get a point at Goodison Park. Like, it just makes no sense, which is why I feel the way I feel going into this game. I've got no faith whatsoever.
How come though? Is it just because of like you guys are making mistakes?
Bro,
you guys
no European. What do you mean?
No, I'm just. I'm
Man said
asking like
how
this.
come
That
they got
everyone. No, but everyone can be negative. Yeah, but there's a reason to be negative. So, Alfie, I want to know your perspective. Why do you think it'll go wrong? Do you think it'll just be Real Madrid inevitable, as we all think,
Man
or
just
is it
had
Help
that.
out
Arsenal
Mike.
making
He's so
mistakes?
confused. He's
Bro,
so confused.
No.
Bro,
I'm
maybe they're
confused. The best team in the world.
maybe they're
Go ahead,
missing,
Alfie.
maybe they're
Mad.
missing GVO striker, bro. You know?
Come on, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
if Alfie was playing up front the way he does in pro clubs, Arsenal would have a chance.
Exactly. But the reason I feel the way I feel is because I know how Real Madrid operate, but I also know how much of a bottling team we are.
Oh yeah, we know
I mean,
that.
it's Saliba
But
going to play for
I'll say
Madrid
this to
early
you,
then?
Alfie. This is the thing, man. This is probably the best time. Yeah, you guys are playing Madrid at the best time. Like, I get it. You guys are the underdogs in this game. Absolutely. I think everybody here knows that. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys have any chance at all of beating Real Madrid in the Champions League, knocking them out, it's now. Right now. Because, bro, I'm not going to lie, bro. These guys have not come back from the international break in any kind of good form. Have you seen them on the goals they've been leaking? Like, they played
Bro.
3 relegation fighting teams, and they somehow conceded 8 goals. Like,
Yeah, but that's because they got scrubbed.
But they just
Yeah, they've got a striker though.
Yes, I know. No, going
Who?
forward, you guys, no, don't get it twisted. Going forward, you guys are screwed, right? Because they're actually good going forward, right? And I mean, I say that, but Vinny has been looking like flipping prime Theo Walcott at Real Madrid right now. But
Man said prime Theo Walcott. Oh my word.
yeah, man.
To be fair to Walcott, he had that header that Neuer saved. I'm just, you know.
I mean, to be fair, I said prime Theo Walcott. I meant to say 2017 Theo Walcott. Sorry about that. Because
Well,
Everton Theo Walcott.
Prime Walcott was actually good. You understand what I'm saying? But still, my point is, at the end of the day, when it comes to Madrid, right? Yes, they have been scoring goals, but we've seen it, Zir. We've been watching Real Madrid recently, bro. Look at how defensively inept they are, bro. Like, seriously, teams like
Bro.
we put 7 past Valencia, bro, and they lost to that team at home.
Oh, it's amazing.
Wait, Amr,
Would Valencia beat Arsenal?
wait, Amr, can I make a comparison to that second goal that Valencia scored? Steve and Liam, it's as bad of a defending as our club. Put it that way.
That is my point, and that is
Bro,
why.
who
and this is the
invited
thing.
this guy, bro?
This is why, for me, I'm looking at this.
Yeah,
guy, okay, I get
Liam,
it,
he's right. It was like Al Hilal defending, man. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I
Al
got
Hilal
this guy.
defending.
Hey,
G, bro.
I was not expecting
Why
that.
do
you
have to
are
do me like that,
Oh,
man?
here we go.
You,
But
you- okay.
but on the real, right?
Wow.
The thing is, right? I get it. I still listen. At the end of the day, what do I want? Obviously, I want Arsenal to win, right? At the end of the day, that's my dream. That's the dream, right? We want to see Will's tears. Like, I'm trying to see Will's tears.
Speak
Man.
for
You
yourself.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll say this now, right? Honestly, for me, you guys are still underdogs, but it's not one of these things where, you know how people are kind of looking at it thinking, oh, it's a full gone formality. Before the international break, I also thought, you know what, at the end of the day, the biased part of me wants to see Arsenal win, but realistically, I don't think they have a chance, right? Especially when they lost Gabriel. Like, losing Gabriel for me is where I'm like, shit. Now your chances have even gone even lower, because at the end of the day, I thought the only way you guys would have won this tie is maybe defending for your lives in the 2 legs. You understand what I'm saying? Where you're gonna have somehow scumbag a win at the Emirates and somehow scumbag a draw at the Bernabeu, right? Even though that's right, but you would have needed your 2 defenders to be on point. But now you've lost your best defender. You understand what I'm saying? But listen, at the end of the day, I just think that when it comes to this tie, the good news is it is at the Emirates. The first leg is at the Emirates. So for me, I think that Arsenal,
Why is that good news?
how they do it, it doesn't matter how they do it. It doesn't matter if they have to sit back, pack the bus, whatever you guys do, right? But in this game against Real Madrid, somehow just leave that stadium with a win. Whatever kind of win. Will it be 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, whatever you go with, right? Because just give yourself a fighting chance. That's what I think that they should do, right? Give yourself a fighting chance, because you are the underdog. No one's expecting you guys to win this time, right? But truth be told, Real Madrid right now are vulnerable. It's the truth. Defensively, they are very vulnerable.
Yeah.
If you actually
No wonder, bro.
Yes.
No wonder they got BTEC Laporte, bro.
Wait, who? Alaba? Who
Yeah, he's crap.
But that's my point. Like, Bro, they play Real Sociedad, who Manchester United beat 4-1 in the Europa League. They've been leaking goals, right? And they were poor. Bro, this team scored 4 against them in their own stadium.
Oh, losing to Nayef again is crazy.
Leganes. Like I know people are gonna say, "Oh, Barcelona lost to Leganes too." Bro, we were in a terrible form when we lost to these guys. So, and that's not an excuse.
No excuse, bro.
I'm not making any excuses, right? That's why I said no excuse, right? We shouldn't have lost to them, right? But still, it shows you these guys are currently in the relegation part, right? And even in that game, let's be real, Liam. You watched the game, right? Real Madrid, bro, that penalty they were giving shouldn't have been a pen, and the free kick, the indirect free kick, shouldn't have been an indirect free kick. They would have probably lost that game if everything didn't go their way. But it just shows you. For me, I just think that when it comes down to it, it's two terrible teams in terrible form. But for when it comes to Arsenal, they just have to pray, and they need to take advantage of the fact that Madrid are not good right now, because everybody can just switch up anytime. Just pray to God that it doesn't. The switch up doesn't happen in this game.
Fair enough. You got to pray for Madrid and that.
Papa Perez will always have that bank card ready, bro.
I mean, fair. Like, his cards never declined, to be fair. But Josh, what do you think? Obviously you drew against Everton, not exactly the best result going into a game against Real Madrid. But did you take any positives from that?
Any positives? No way, bro. No way, bro. Listen, I'm looking forward to the game, obviously, because massive game. But confidence is in the mud, to be honest with you. I just don't see anything getting. Even I understand Madrid are playing awful this season. I get that, But what about us?
Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Madrid is when they get to this stage of the competition, when they get to Champions League, right? They step up every single season, and I noticed this with them. Like, even if they don't play well, like last season, I watched their full run to the final. Right, they played Leipzig in the 2 legs. Leipzig were the better team, but especially in the first one, they had about 11, 12 big opportunities, right? But they still found a way, Madrid, and that's the thing that worries me the most. Even in the finals, I watched them against Inter. Inter had, we saw Lukaku missing sit after sitter.
Yeah.
But they still found a way. Dortmund last season had put up a good fight. They still found a way. That's the thing. And when it really mattered against Man City this season, Madrid were awful in that league phase. I think Milan beat them. They're getting beat left, right, and centre. But when it actually mattered against Man City, when the pressure was on, they delivered. And Mbappe happened. So when Madrid get in these positions, especially this late on in the competition, they step up. And that's what worries me the most. I don't want to keep being negative about this manager, right? But it's just realistic. It's the truth. Arteta has never proved himself against a big manager in a big stage in terms of Champions League, even in Europa League as well, right? We played Olympiacos in his first season, got knocked out. We played Sporting Lisbon. Ruben Amorim, right? Beat Arteta, Sporting Lisbon. We played Villarreal. Good evening, right? Ex-manager, dunked Arteta out, yeah? We played Liam calls him a terrorist, right? Thomas Tuchel, right? Bayern Munich's worst team last season.
He is a terrorist,
right?
though.
They went trophyless for the whole season, yeah?
But we rocked up at the Allianz with Bayern in a back four that had Eric Dyer, and yet they still managed
to get a masterclass against us. Let's be honest with you. Eric Dyer had a masterclass.
Yeah. That's my player you're talking about.
He had a masterclass against us last season, yeah?
So
but it don't take much against you, though. But anyway.
Zia, bro. Zia. Listen, Zia, let me say something about you, Zia, yeah? I sent you a picture today, right? I know it's going to topic. I sent you a picture of that. How do you say your team's name? The Saudi team?
Al Hilal.
Al Hilal, yeah? It was on offer, yeah? Like 30 quid in the UK for Al Hilal t-shirt. And you was begging me to buy it, right? But then guess what? Guess what shirt was next to it, Zia?
What?
El Nasser, yeah?
Okay.
Did you buy an shirt?
Yeah, I bought El Nasser over your Al Hilal team. Don't chat to me, bro.
Listen, you can buy that shirt, but just remember, you will never win a league title, just like Arsenal.
Bro.
Enjoy.
He may as well just told you to suck your mum, bro. That's mad.
No. Guys, no. Hear me out. We will see who's really sucking their moms when they don't win league titles.
Pause.
Jesus
the
Christ.
fuck?
Oh, hey, respect.
Mad. It's mad.
It's outrageous.
That's mad.
This is
That's
hard.
mental. Absolutely mental.
Brother,
But
hey, listen, you don't have a go at me. I'm telling you, bro, because you're gonna get it. Who's really the
Pause.
shameless
Listen,
heel one
listen.
here?
Bro, pause.
yeah, pause, bro. Like, listen, no, for me, like, with this manager, yeah, he's coming up against Ancelotti, right? Don Carlo, yeah. This guy has won everything there is to win, yeah. This guy's the most successful manager in Champions League
Wait.
history, I'm pretty sure. I think he's
You
one of the
said
most
he's won
Champions Leagues there
everything,
is.
Yeah? He ain't won that court case yet for tax evasion.
Yeah, I know. He's mudded. He's mudded, mate, with a court. Yeah, he's finished. I can't even lie. He's finished. But I just see Arteta getting just schooled, mate. I really do tomorrow. I think he'll get schooled. Even if we get a draw, yeah, tomorrow, people will gas it up, like, you know, and get all giddy about, we've actually drew Real Madrid. When it really matters in the second leg, back at the Bernabeu, that won't be enough. And we'll get found out at the end of the day.
Do you know what annoys me most, Josh, is the fact that we turned up in 2006 with Henry as our striker to the Bernabeu. Next week, we are turning up at the Bernabeu with Mikel Merino in the number 9. Are you taking the piss?
Yeah, exactly.
This club is draining me, Josh. Help.
Are you man actually going to start him up?
Yeah, we will, man.
Neither me nor Josh want him to start up front,
mate,
but we know for a fact
we got to deal with Kiwior at centre back. Let's not forget that.
Oh man!
Listen, man.
Kiwior against Mbappe, yeah.
Hold on.
Bro, man said,
Listen. I'm just saying, man.
That's mad.
Hugo Duro scored in the winner at the Bernabeu a few days ago, man. Son, that guy's been a bum.
Hugo Duro starts for Arsenal.
Hugo Duro, have you seen this guy in La Liga, Steve?
He's not good, but he's better than fucking Mikel Merino up front, man.
This is crazy.
Bro,
Marino,
bro.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, let me tell you something, man. I don't rate Mikel Merino, but I think I've seen better finishing from Mikel Merino.
No.
I'm just saying, bro. And Hugo Duro is an actual striker, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. We're gonna have Kiwior centre back. We're gonna have Marino up front. It's like Odegaard as well. Yeah, Alfie could say the same thing. Yeah, he's been shit this season, right? Absolutely crap. Let's not forget he got released by Real Madrid when he's 15. Yeah, if you was Odegaard, you'd be fired up for this game, right? Because it's your team that released you. If he has another awful performance, yeah, this guy ain't it. I'm sorry, because he's been awful this season, right?
He has another piss poor performance. I'm rushing to change him, bro. I don't care.
This is meant to be our club captain, by the way. Yeah, and week in, week out is pathetic. I can't even lie. Yeah, and this type of performance now, this is your team that released you. You'd think that he would be a bit fired up for the game. Yeah, to prove them wrong. So I really hope he steps up. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm not confident at all. And, you know, we have to start putting in statements in the Champions League because we get bantered by these types of, with all due respect to you guys, you're all real ones, yeah? But like I said, Liam, yeah, who has the right to banter us, yeah? Because you do us 5-1 every single season, mate.
Wait.
You got the hair. We got nothing to show in the Champions League.
A real one and then singled me out, bro.
No, because you always beat us, yeah. That's why I chose you. Yeah, you always beat us, yeah. Bayern Munich, we have history, and you beat us every single time. That's why I chose you, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
bro. We beat you like Diddy, bro.
Yeah, but even so, this is what I'm saying.
Pause.
Oh my days.
It's mad.
Mike's, you should have thought of this before.
We have no like heritage in this competition, and we get bantered for it. Every single year.
You do have
so.
Dog there, bro.
Look,
don't worry, mate.
I'm gonna say this to you guys, right? Here's the thing with Madrid, and this is the worst thing, and this is one thing I just realized when I'm listening to this, right? One thing about Madrid is, despite me, everything I've said about Madrid being in terrible form, and you know, this is the best time to play them and all that, bro. Madrid are just these absolute pricks, man, who you just know. Like, bro, I need you to understand, bro. They are gonna have the shittest league seasons in La Liga. And for some reason, bro, the moment they hear that Champions League song, bro, they just it's like a trigger, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're watching, you know, I don't know, you guys watch movies, you see the Winter Soldier, whenever the person says the code and then he just turns and they just switches something in his brain and then he becomes an assassin. That's them. That's Real Madrid. Whenever the Champions League, it's like a attack code for like Real Madrid. Whenever they hear the Champions League song, they just everything that they did in the league means nothing when they hear that Champions League, bro. And that's why, bro, I'm just sitting here like, bro, I'm dreaming, I'm praying that tomorrow the Arsenal do something, but it just would not surprise me if they just get battered to let the post by this Madrid team. Because they just
So you're praying for Arsenal?
He's praying for Arsenal.
Bro,
I'm praying
you're
for
praying
Arsenal.
for no reason, bro.
I've seen Arsenal fans cry when the Champions League theme tune comes on. So that,
No, don't do that. Do not do. Wait a minute. Wait, they're crying, you know.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right.
I've seen Arsenal. Like, literally, I'm not even taking a piss.
God's
Like
sakes,
they're
man.
filming themselves crying. Who films themselves crying?
Bro, you know what it is, right? You know what's funny, Mike? It would be embarrassing for me if a West Ham fan, I'm not even talking about you specifically, but if a West Ham fan was crying after hearing the champion,
I wouldn't even do that,
club, bro.
Yep.
Seriously, no, seriously, this is why it's so easy for us, like even people that don't even support the Premier League, right? For us to just sit down and just laugh at Arsenal, because you guys make it easy for us to laugh at you guys,
Bro, Alfie was crying at the Sidemen game.
Alfie didn't even say anything. He's just looking. He's just staring at you. Know what?
Steve, let me ask you this, bro. When you guys heard that when you guys were playing Milan in your opening game at the San Siro, did you cry when you heard the Champions League team?
No, I was just fucking vibes.
Yeah,
and
there we go.
I was doing.
There you go, man.
He was probably drunk, bro.
Probably.
Hey, Steve, from your perspective, where do you see Arsenal's chances?
I see them as about as much as Dortmund's to beat Barca, to be honest. Because Dortmund have actual like proof that they can get really far into this, like as of recent times. And the thing is, people will pay attention to Arsenal and just look at them as the freaking logo and the EPL stuff. The EPL merchants will be like, oh, they have half a chance or a quarter of a chance or 10%. But then with Dortmund, who we all saw last year get there, they ain't gonna give them a prayer against Barca. But like honestly, like I don't give either team like that big of a chance to advance. I might even go with Dortmund slightly.
Yeah, I think Dortmund have a higher chance of. I'm not.
Yeah, like maybe.
I think they actually have a better chance of going through than Arsenal.
Yeah, is it because they have more know-how as well in the Champions League?
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Yeah, and also Arsenal without Gabriel. I mean, Everton did fuck all in the game. Really, they didn't do much attacking wise besides the penalty. To be honest,
yeah.
But a better team, like if we when we play them, I think we could definitely get at them, and we've done it even with Gabriel there. So, yeah, I just I don't give Arsenal much of a chance. I think it'll be maybe a bit more competitive than people think. Like I don't know if they'll get blown out by like 4 or 5 across 2 legs.
Yeah,
but that's more likely. That's even more likely than Arsenal getting by. They have Saka back, which is good because he'll get a goal here and there, of course. But other than that, I don't know what approach you take if you're Arsenal. Do you go out and attack?
Did you see what Ancelotti said, Steve, today, by the way, in his press conference?
What did he say?
He said they're going to play the low block.
Yeah, that's what they do away from home.
Yeah, and it'll work against Arsenal because you've seen us in Premier League sides do it. We can't break it down.
Yeah.
No, you
But
can't.
the thing is with Real Madrid, they got the counter attack they have. If they were to do that with Mbappe, Vini Jr., Rodrigo, Bellingham, like we get rinsed if they did that.
The thing is about Valencia as well, about that Valencia Real Madrid game on Saturday. It was a fully deserved win from Valencia.
That's
and
the thing.
part of it, they were something that Arsenal, we question them at times as their just bravery and their commitment to a game plan and the competence in executing that and the managerial decisions. Like, so freaking Corberan, who's a good manager, by the way, Mike, you'll know about that. That was a good pickup for Valencia. They've improved since. They
have.
He has the right approach. I'm not saying he's a better manager than Arteta, but I do think he's a bit more
braver,
tactically savvy than Arteta possibly.
He tweaks it more.
Yeah.
He'll approach the game depending on the opponent.
Like bro. See, Steve, it's just like you said. At the end of the day, I think you know what it is. This is why, in my heart, I think that it's not out of the realms of possibility for them for them to win, right? The Arsenal to win tomorrow. I believe that if they're brave, because of how our Real Madrid are playing right now, if they show bravery in that game, I could see them even nicking like a 2-1, where they're like a goal down.
Or 1-0.
Somehow,
yeah,
and then they go down, and somehow they bring it back and lead 2-1 and basically defend for their lives and get the win in that first leg, right?
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. I believe that Valencia did that because Leganes played just as well against Real Madrid, and Real Madrid could handle them, and somehow they lost, and they were very unlucky to lose that game. They dissociate that game. Like we thought that nobody thought that game was going to be competitive. Like I didn't even do a watch along. I was on Zero's channel, right, watching the game, right. I didn't think that game was going to be competitive at all. There was a point in that tie in the semifinals where they were 3-1 down. Alaba scored 2 own goals. I just sat there like, bro, what is going on with Real Madrid right now? They are actually, bro, what is wrong with this team? And
but you know what, on that,
Valencia were the team that showed the most bravery out of all the 2 teams I just mentioned. They were the ones that actually looked at Madrid and said, this Madrid team have been very leaky. They've been very defensively sus, man. All we got to do is just pressure them. Put the pressure on them, bro. And that's what they did. They really put that pressure on them. That's why they couldn't handle it.
Yeah. Valencia started out minute 1 in that game, by the way. They went after them minute 1 at the Bernabeu. They had about 10-20 minutes, so they were just not peppering them, but they were not letting Real Madrid do anything easy. They always forced them to go wide right. They never – and then when Vinny got the ball, they dealt with them pretty well. So I just don't – I don't think, I mean,
listen, man.
I got them advancing, like, I don't know, probably – maybe a draw tomorrow, maybe a draw,
right?
And then a win at the Bernabeu.
And that's the thing, and Steve. I think that when you think about it, like, even in that game against Valencia, right? Look at the way defensively how Valencia was structured. Listen, I get it, right? I know
they played 5-4-1.
Exactly, right? Yeah. I think at the end of the day, this, and also you gotta remember this, bro. As much as I give credit to Valencia's defense is awful, bro.
Mbappe had bare half chances
against them in a week, Steve. Like, come on, their defense is nothing to like. This is why I'm looking at it. I'm like, listen, as much as we're calling out Arsenal's defense, bro, Valencia's defense were 10 times worse. You know what I mean? And somehow they only conceded 1 against Real Madrid away at the Bernabeu. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, do you know what? On the thing with that though, like a lot of people are talking about Real Madrid's left-hand side when it comes to their left, when it comes to like their left back and Mendy not playing that well this season or whatever. But I'm looking at the opposite. I'm looking at the opposite, Omar. Though I'm looking at the opposite. I'm looking at Arsenal's left backs.
Yeah.
No. Lewis Kelly's a great player, but is he ready against Rodrigo? Is he?
We need Tierney mics, bro. We need Tierney.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like, that's the
but
thing.
Arteta won't do that.
A smart manager,
No, he won't.
A smart tactical manager would look at that game and say, nah, this is not the game for you, Lewis Kelly. Or he'll probably say to Lewis Kelly, all right, you know what? I want you to play up front, up in the wings. I'd rather put Lewis Kelly as a winger to go forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And because he can carry the ball. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'll put Tierney to mark Rodrigo out of the game. Because I'm going to be like, listen, Tierney, all I need from you today is your defensive work. Keep this guy locked. You understand what I'm saying, right? We already have problems with Mbappe and Vinny. You understand what I'm saying, right? But
exactly.
But at the end of the day, we can't have to like just deal with him. And also, bro, at the end of the day, it's gonna be tough. And bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. That Arsenal defense doesn't fill with any hope. That's unfortunately the problem, right? Because Saliba this season is not as good as Saliba last season, right?
No, he's not.
This is why the Gabriel injury is like literally the worst thing that could have happened to you guys. Because if you guys had him in this game, I would have been giving you guys a little bit more confidence. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to be like, well, listen, because truth be told, anyone who's been watching Arsenal this season will agree that Gabriel has been the best defender in that
best
team.
Defender all day long.
You understand what I'm saying? So
all day long.
Exactly. And that partnership between them is how actually made them that good. But Saliba, as much as I rate him very highly, bro, Saliba has his bozo moments as well. You understand what I'm saying?
Look how Isak tormented him every single game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
So maybe Saliba might play for Madrid a bit earlier than people think tomorrow. Like, that's my thing. Like Mbappe running in behind, he might give Saliba something different to think about.
Because like,
I'll say this about Kylian Mbappe though. Even though I mark him as the biggest problem in their attack, apart from the City game, I can't really look at him. I don't think Mbappe has had a good game in the Champions League. That City game is probably the best game he had in a Madrid shirt the Champions League this season.
But it's when they needed it the most.
That's
It's
my
when
point.
they is yeah.
And that's why I picked him as the main issue, right? Listen, at the end of the day, I'll tell you this right now, bro. That game against Valencia, this brother was looking like this French Adama Traore, bro, in that game. So at the end of the day,
he was missing some chances, yes.
Like, bro, Vinicius, bro. Vinicius missed a pen and did nothing, bro. I'm like, this is what I'm just thinking. I'm like, bro, for Arsenal's sake, you guys just better pray to God that these guys their attack has been as stinky as it's been the past few weeks.
They need to try and get Vinny sent off, bro. They need to put one on Vinny early.
I think the only thing that I've really got faith in is the fact that I know Saliba's come up against Mbappe before, so I know that Saliba can take care of the Ninja Turtle, no problem.
But and then again, he's got maybe Kivior might just give him too much space right next to him. And
don't let that brother play. He's fucking useless.
Alf, when did he come up against Mbappe, Saliba?
Liga, innit?
Liga.
Oh, shit,
when Saliba was on loan at Marseille.
Oh, the Marseille game, yeah.
Marseille, I think Saint Etienne as well.
And
Nice as well, yeah.
And Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so
my bad.
I feel like with Arsenal, bro, I feel like you got to be big shit houses. Like that's the only way you guys are like hype up dark.
Play mind games. Play mind games.
I think something they can tangibly do is get Vinny Jr. wound up.
Yeah, exactly.
He is in terms of discipline, he's their weakest link.
Yep.
So if you
that's why I think, in my opinion, I think Lewis Kelly should start. Because he could be a bit of a wind up. He could be a bit of a wind up merchant.
Yeah, but he almost got sent off against PSV, Alf.
He can get what's his name riled up. Because this is the thing with Vinny. You don't even have to say something to him, bro. You just have to frustrate him. You understand what I'm saying? Just make sure he doesn't have it his way. If he doesn't have it his way, he will eventually get triggered and do something stupid. You just know it. He does it every game. Yeah. He does it every game. Every time he's been locked out of a game, he will do something. He will get frustrated at the player who's marking him. Like he will get all over their face and try to get them riled up to get a yellow card or a red card in that game. We know what his plan is.
I think it's too much of a big risk starting Lewis Skelly against Rodrigo when he couldn't even handle a washed Mohamed Kudus.
I'm
calling him washed. I don't care.
And in the PSV game, if you guys remember the first leg, he got hooked up I can't speak before half time. Lewis Skelly, because
don't you think that was a precaution?
He was too rash. He was on a yellow card. Yeah, he was getting spun, and that's what fears when he plays up against Rodrigo or even whoever they play. If it's not Rodrigo, who will they play there? Brennan Diaz.
Yeah,
Diaz.
Either way, he looks good when he plays at the champs as well. So
yeah, exactly. So I go Tierney all day long. Do you know what? The last time this manager won a trophy, he played Tierney as a centre back in the FA Cup run against Man City and Chelsea. That worked wonders, man.
Back three.
Back three. You make that work as well. Because when you did have the ball, he was just a traditional left back, and then Maitland-Niles for going to midfield. That was good. That was a good tactic. I don't know why he changed that, but that's Arteta for you. I don't see I get Lewis Skelly is the guy at the moment, but when you're bringing a youngster through like that, even if they're that good, you still got to rotate them a little bit.
100% agree.
But the problem is, you guys don't. Apart from Tierney, who's going to leave, you don't have anyone with an experienced head. It was bad against PSV when you had to bring Calafiori on, who can't defend in wide areas.
This is why we need a left back in the summer.
This is why, unfortunately, right? Everybody here.
Coming by Guerrero.
This is why we're all looking at we're looking at
no, not Guerrero.
This is why we're all looking at Arsenal like lambs in the slaughter. Everyone, because it's not just because of their squad. It's also because we know who their manager is, and this manager is absolutely he's. Bro, what else can I say about this guy that hasn't already been said? This guy, because you know what he is. He's gonna be arrogant. He's gonna want to come into that game and try to play his own way, and he's not gonna want to try to maybe change some things in this game because he's playing against Real Madrid. He's just probably gonna look at it and say, "Listen, we just got to play our game, and hopefully we'll probably."
See, Omar, this is the thing with Arteta. I've looked at it this way. The way that Arteta's been in his first 5 years, it's made Wenger's last years that little bit more bearable. Because back in Wenger's last years, I knew we were shit. I knew we were shit. Whereas in the first 5 years under Arteta, it kind of feels like we've been teetering on the edge of something great, and then we're back to square one again.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I think we can all agree that it's gonna be a bit bad. It's gonna be a bit bad for Arsenal. But I think it'll be one of them games here where it's just like, as we were talking about with Real Madrid earlier in terms of general performances, like they may not perform, but Real Madrid rise in moments, man. That's what you need for a Champions League. You need big moments. You need clinical players. That's what they have. We say this every year. Oh, Real Madrid don't look good this year. We say this every year.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true, man.
Every fucking year.
The thing that a lot of other Arsenal fans need to understand is the fact that there is no way Mikel Merino is scoring against Courtois. Like, Courtois will not allow it. Like, this guy is the height of the goal.
Alfie, if he scores, well, you better know everybody's coming for you. Just saying.
I'll do an apology video, no problem.
What would you do up front then?
I'm saying front three. Trossard, Martinelli through the middle, Saka on the right.
Yeah, I think that was actually.
But I give Saka maximum 65 minutes.
That's what a smart manager would do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am me.
Bruv, you probably signed yourself up front.
Exactly, and I'd score back hills, no problem. Everyone go watch the tweet.
It's not FIFA. No, Courtois back, Charlie, by the way. Courtois is back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know what's funny? You know what's crazy, bro? They confirmed it this morning, and I did my prediction last night. So I uploaded it this morning. Right?
Oh,
and then they
shit.
What a fraud, bro. Man was trying to get ahead of the
hour
curve.
after I went live. So I said he was injured. I was like, oh shit, you pieces of shit. Like, don't, like, this is, I'm like, yo, don't screw me. Like, don't do this to me, man. You absolute frauds. Like, why did you guys confirm this before?
Bro, they were waiting for your video to go out, bro.
Yeah, they waited for my video to go out. And like, all right, let's screw it.
That's probably the most annoying thing about YouTube, bro.
Listen, even with all of that, I'm just saying, bro, Barcelona put 9 past Courtois this season. So just remember. Just remember.
But that was with Lewandowski, Yamal, and Rafinha.
Yeah.
We've got Mikel fucking Merino.
Omar speaks, bro.
We've got Mikel Merino up front and this Spanish bozo on the touchline who doesn't know how to change things up.
Bro, you do have win the dog, though.
Put the fucking dog down, I've said it.
For God's sake. All right, let's move on before Alfie bursts a blood vessel, bro. This is one of the games I'm really looking forward to. Bayern Munich versus Inter, man. Like, that's a game I'm looking forward to. Like, Liam,
where you going? Hey, don't go now.
Don't go anywhere, Liam. Don't go anywhere.
Do you know what? This Inter Bayern game gives me 2010 final vibes.
Oh, of course, man.
No, fuck you, bro.
Melito.
You know what's funny?
Melito.
I hope you get smashed 10-2 by Real Madrid, bro.
I already know you're getting smashed by Real Madrid. You ain't got a hope.
Obviously, I think you guys played them. I think you guys played them like 2 seasons ago when we were all in the same group, like Bayern, Inter, and Barca.
Yeah.
You guys did the double on them. You beat them 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Liam, what's your confidence levels going into this game? Company versus Inzaghi.
Well, you know, mate. Arteta's been there 5 years, bro. Company's been here 1, and he's about to win a league title, bro. It's peak.
Yeah, what phase is he in, Liam, mate?
How much is he spent?
He's in phase 4 head. That's what he's in, bro. Phase 4 head. Nah, it's gonna be a difficult game. Because of our injury problems. You know, Upamecano's out, Alfonso's out, Jamal's out, Neuer's out. So it's gonna be a difficult game. But for me personally, I feel like out of hope and only hope only, I think we can win. But we have to be perfect in the attack, not have 19 shots with 0 on target like normal. You know, Leroy Sané going through 1-on-1 and missing like a donkey, bro.
No, but he's been your best player in the recent weeks, ain't he?
Oh, bro.
Whoa, Josh.
I'm seeing Arsenal linked to him.
Please take Sané away from me, please.
What are you doing, Josh? Are you taking the piss? That guy's washed, bro.
I got aggressive, bro. Giving him a brand new deal, bro.
No, Liam. If he's as good as he's saying, man, he can have him at Arsenal, man. Go sign him.
Yes.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, Arteta would definitely sign him as well.
Sané at City is fine.
He's a Premier League proven player, man.
Exactly. Arteta was signed because he works at Man City.
You sound like Arteta, Josh. You sound like Arteta.
He did it in the Premier League, man. Go sign him. That's a Premier League attacker right there.
That's an
Premier League
Arteta
three.
reason. You got
Man,
Sane,
No,
Jesus, and Sterling.
no.
Oh yeah,
We've
bro.
had enough
Imagine
of this
that
shit,
attack.
man.
Rubbish bins, Alfie, bro. We're going through the rubbish bins again. And Man City and Chelsea signing the
Oh, don't
rubbish
piss me
again.
off,
Bro,
man.
you can
Like,
have
honestly.
the weekend as well, bro.
The weekend.
What did he say?
No.
That sounds like racismo.
Oh,
Whoa.
bro, we don't give you good players, bro. You can have the shit ones.
Yeah, I want Elise. Give me Elise.
Hey, you
Why
had
not?
your
Elise
chance.
a
You was at
baller.
Palace.
50 million then, bro.
You was at Palace, bro. You had your chance.
We'll give you. We'll do a straight swap for Elise with Havertz, innit? You can have Havertz.
Yeah, King Kai up front for you, man.
Yeah.
German
No,
as
I
well,
don't
you know.
I
Cheating the
don't-
league.
I don't want Ku
European
Klux
heritage,
Kai near this
Steve,
fucking
hey,
country,
Steve,
bro.
Steve, would you
Not
stop?
want
Would
that
you,
motherfucker. No.
Steve.
No.
He's gonna just say no if I ask the question.
Raw.
Steve, would you swap Olise for Saka? Would you swap Olise for Saka, Steve?
No.
No, I'm not having that.
Thanks. No, bro.
Alfie said no, I'm not having that. You
Bro,
Hey.
Saka can play left back.
Hey, but Liam, speaking of like attackers and stuff like and attacking midfielders, obviously Musiala's injured. Like, is that even more like confirmation of your confidence sort of thing?
Oh,
was
yeah,
that like
100%, bro.
because he's like such a big difference? He signed a new deal like not that long ago as well. Like how much of a blow is that? Even though
massive,
quite obvious, isn't it?
Lily Phillips saying.
Jesus,
you know what I mean? Like, it's bad. You know, Jamal's out, so the creativity's gone. You know, it's Olise. Is he going to play Olise at 10? I'm not sure if it's going to work.
Or is he gonna do Muller at the 10 or some shit?
Yeah, that's the thing, bro.
I'd rather do that than fucking play Nabry and Sane on either.
No, I think now the fact that Muller's announced that he's leaving, I think it's only right we play him. I feel like he'll turn up.
Bro, don't
for
get
that
me
reason.
started, please.
yeah, I was gonna ask.
Channel
I was
taken
gonna ask
down,
that.
bro.
Bro, I was gonna ask you about that as well, man. Like,
That's
so
peak.
Musiala injured.
Yeah.
Like Muller's contract, like, obviously he's leaving Bayern, which I can't. Like, bruv, I can't. I don't want to see him in another shirt. Even me,
Bro,
I don't want to
said
see him in
this,
another
bro.
shirt, man.
Liam,
Like,
I
bro,
know-
like.
Yeah, Liam, I know you weren't in the FCB show, but I said this to Zier. I was like, bro, it's so strange. It's gonna be so strange. Like the best, I think that he should probably retire if he because it's the only thing, man. Like I don't want to see Muller wearing another shirt. It would be so weird. You understand what I'm saying?
Bro, you're a Barcelona fan saying that. How do you think I feel?
No, trust me, bro. I know how it feels. It's like me when we lost when Messi left. I was like, bro,
Yeah,
like,
but
bro,
you can't compare a
you
midget
look
to a
confused,
great,
bro.
bro.
You don't
That's
understand
mad.
when bro, think about this, right? No, Liam.
No one cares about a midget, bro.
No, but Liam.
Swaddle's not around.
No, hold on. Liam. 1 second. I'm not even trolling here. Listen, I'm just saying. If you think about it, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Muller, right? I look at Muller like as a Barca fan. I look at Messi like you look at Muller. You understand what I'm saying, right? He is an academy product, came through and through, and was always like he was a representation of Bayern. Every time you saw Thomas Muller, you
Muller
know
won a World Cup single-handedly. He had to get paid to win a World Cup.
Bro,
Oh my
you know what it is? You're not in the mood to be serious. That's fine, bro. You can do whatever you want.
What do you mean I'm not in the mood to be
No,
serious?
you're not
I'm
trying to
never
be serious, bro. I'm trying to
Bro,
get
I am
to
being
Muller,
serious.
but you are not.
700 games, bro.
Dude, I'm not trying. This guy
He's got more Champions Leagues.
Liam, I'm not even
Come on,
going to
man.
talk to you. I'm going to talk to Steve, since Steve is another Bayern. No, because Liam clearly is not in the mood. Steve, on a real, right? When it comes to Muller, right? I look at Muller like, obviously, I look at Messi like you guys look at Muller, where it's like, at the end of the day, when I used to look at Messi, I always said Barcelona. Like, when he wore another shirt, it would look so weird. And a lot of fans
talking
said the
about
same thing.
Hornswoggle, bro.
Like, even a lot of fans were like, bro, a lot of fans could not believe, like, him wearing another shirt. Like, bro, Messi playing for another club. That's so strange, right? I feel like the same thing is going to apply for Muller. Even if he leaves Europe and even goes to the MLS or something like that, bro, even just watching him play for like a LA Galaxy wearing the LA Galaxy shirt, I'm gonna be like, bro, Muller wearing a shirt
Royce as well.
that is not.
Is that Mark Noble as well? The same thing, right, guys?
What's that?
Mark Noble, same thing.
But here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, it's
Bro, man,
rather
man,
surprising,
bro.
but as far as this game is concerned, I think that the smart thing would be to start Muller. Because, bro, if they put any other player in that 10 role, it's curtains. I'm sorry, man.
Is Nabry just as bad as Sane then, Liam?
No, bro. No, don't put either of those. Don't even
Yeah,
put
but the
Olise.
difference is
Don't
that
even put
Omar, bro, we're
Olise
not
in the 10
worshipping a
for me.
17-year-old, bro. That's peak. That's some Diddy type shit.
Bro, what, like is Nabry just as bad as Sane then, Liam? When it
Yeah.
comes to like his performances recently, because I hear
I'm
a lot
playing
about Sane. I don't
Coleman.
hear a lot about Nabry.
I'm playing Coleman over both of them.
Bro, I'm playing Coman with no foot.
Yeah.
Fair.
And
It's
I
We'll
Coman
have
got
fit then.
Gnabry back as well if you're letting us have him.
Bro, take him, bro. He's your level.
So is Coman fit then? So surely it'll be
No.
Coman, Muller, at least.
No.
Oh, he's not a fucking hell.
Coman's not fit, no. No,
So Davies is injured, Musiala's injured, Coman's. I swear you got quite a few as well. You got quite a few injuries.
Pavlovic.
Over Maldini, bro.
And furthermore, about Alphonso Davies, who told my man he could rap?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know what that was. Like, someone said that was like, oh no, 5-year immigrant. That's what someone said online. Not 5-year foreign. That's what they said. They were saying 5-year foreign, not 5-year foreign. It was 5-year immigrant. That's what they said online. It wasn't me in it.
Oh my god!
But like with Bayern, yeah, so you do not think they have any chance against Inter? Because I know Inter like.
No, we have
a chance. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
what I'm asking.
Overreacting, guys.
Go ahead.
You guys go ahead. I was still what I have to say.
Well, no, we got the best striker in the world and the best right winger in the world. Of course, we can go through. But...
wait, I didn't realize Yamal was playing for Bayern.
Bruv, we don't worship 17-year-olds, bruv.
Mm.
Get out of here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Why is man out here worshipping a kid, bruv? That's peak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wait, bro. Oh, bro, I was about to
this guy said Olise. There's no way. This Olise, you know, this guy. You talk about Olise?
Yeah, he's a gunman, bro. He's better than Salah.
I mean, I like Olise, but best right winger in the world. I could have sworn I heard a lot.
I think he will be one. I think he can be one day.
No, I'm not, and I don't
definitely think he can, and he's been outstanding for us.
I'm not gonna lie, Liam. You know I watch Bayern View and I watch Ucl Talk. I know that you guys have been criticizing.
Wait,
you guys have been. No, don't do that.
Wait,
I watch your channel, bro. You guys have been criticizing.
Wait,
don't sit here and act like you
you talk too much. Hold up, bro. You're like a woman.
Much, bro.
I said pause. Wait. What did I miss? I go and I come back. What did I miss?
We're talking about Olise.
You guys trying to be fraudulent here, man.
I'm not being fraudulent, bro. He's better than
Olise is my language. Olise is my conversation. What's up?
No, so I was saying no, because you know what it is. I was kidding, but I basically when he said this is the best riding winger in the world, I said, bro, I didn't know Yamal was playing for the Bayern Munich, and basically
bro,
he tried to talk
we
about.
don't need scrubs like Yamal.
Wait. Okay. I want to say. Wait. Amar, can you pause 1 second? Amar, relax. Wait. Can you calm down? 1 second? Amar, why are you arguing with the guy that was doubting him at the start?
That's what I'm saying.
Bro,
I was watching.
How many Bayern games have
I
you
don't
watched,
watch Bayern View. I know what.
How many have I watched?
As
many as you fucking waste, man. As many as you fucking waste, man. I'm literally
with you.
most.
Have you been and seen, bro?
I've seen Bayern games as much as you have.
You've seen Bayern games on the TV, bro. Have you been in
Yes, and I will watch it on.
You've got a private jet, and you still haven't gone and seen them, bro.
No, I ain't got no private jet. That's the fucking point. You fucking
jet.
don't. No, I don't. I'm gonna start.
Look, man's at his second resort, bro. Look at the background.
Wait. This is an apartment. This is an apartment, guys. This is an apartment.
Yeah, your second apartment.
Yeah, the pool area is an apartment, guys. Okay.
Fuck, this guy's rich. What the fuck is going on here?
Exactly.
I'm in East London in the trenches, and you got a pool, bro. What the fuck is this? I'm in the trenches in East London, bro.
What are you talking about trenches in East, bro? I'm in South, mate.
Oh yeah, but you're different. You're literally in hell, bro. You're literally in hell.
No, guys. This is the trenches. Guys.
Yo, look at the trenches, bro. Look at the trenches of Saudi Arabia, Steve.
I feel so bad for you.
Look at the trenches of Saudi Arabia, bro. This is actually incredible. This is the trenches.
He's got palm trees in his background, bro.
Palm trees, bro. He's got GTA, bro. I've got GT nonsense, bro. Like I've literally got like a knockoff game, bro. I've got San Andreas when you're doing the mission. This guy's just got the San Andreas watch without the
Bro,
shooting,
San
bro.
Andreas.
Mike has to look on the TV, bro. Zia looks out the
No,
window.
but okay, jokes aside. But on the real, bro, they're both like Yamal and Ulisse are amazing, but bro, Yamal,
Yeah, but
just,
bro,
But
have
here's
some
the thing,
chest,
right?
bro. You're doing a
This is
full
not, I'm
time,
not
bro.
gonna lie. This is not. I'm
Pussy
not
in the
even.
how
I'm
am I
not even
doing?
doing the debate.
Okay,
I'm not doing the debate
okay.
for Yamal Olise, because here's the thing. I rate Olise very highly, and I think that yes, when you guys signed him, I even said like one of the earliest videos I ever did on my channel was actually when you guys signed Olise, where I said it was actually an amazing deal, and I think that you guys have actually bought an amazing player who's gonna become one of your
The
best
best
players.
right winger in the world.
That's one of the. I don't think he will be. Like, listen, at the end of the day, it's a cause for debate, but I do believe that definitely he has potential to be one of the best right wingers in the world for sure. Like a
Yeah.
season or two. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Bro,
But I
go
think
stat
he
for
does.
stat.
But and also I think that at the end of the day, even in this game against Inter, and here's the thing, Liam. I know you are not going to look with all the injuries that you guys have been hit. You're not really going to this game with a lot of confidence. Here's the thing, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Steve. You watch you watch City A. You know Inter Milan can turn up, but also they have this tendency of turning up.
They're a
bro.
team of two halves.
That is my point.
The Parma game on Saturday, they blitzed them the first half. They should have scored more. Thuram missed a sitter. Lautaro missed a sitter. Darmian scored a nice goal.
And you know what's gonna
But
happen?
the second half, they slowed
Yeah,
down. They
yeah,
ran.
but Steve,
and you know what they're gonna do. And Steve,
yeah.
we know what they're gonna do.
Ran out of
This
gears.
is a big game. This is a big game in
Yeah.
the Champions League against Bayern Munich away.
Yeah.
Zach is gonna come into this game not to win. He's gonna come in to just draw. So he's gonna come in, set up.
Of course, he's gonna come into draw, bro. He's an Italian.
That's what I'm
they
saying.
do, bro.
You know,
That's
that's
Josh,
what,
Bam
and that
Bam
is
Gulo
why,
and all that shit.
and that's why.
This guy.
Zero, because here's the thing. You watched my prediction to this morning, right? I even said it. I said you guys were gonna win this tie at home. I said you
Bro,
guys.
I don't even think we're gonna win. That's
And the reason
I don't either,
I said 1-0.
personally.
No, you know why? Because it's gonna be similar, Steve, to when the Derby d'Italia, when Juventus played Inter. I think that's the same way Inter are gonna try to set up, and you guys are going and Juventus. And just like Juventus did, you guys are going to completely pepper them somehow, and you're going to find a way to break through and get a goal. You understand what I'm saying?
Get off him.
Wait. So you think Inter are not going to score out of a counter attack with our dead defense?
Bro, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
bro.
that's yeah.
No, I
bro,
don't.
bro,
I
like
think,
Steve, you know what I'm on about, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
on
bro.
about.
This is the same guy that thinks Yamal is better than Olise, bro.
I just want to ask though. I just want to ask
Liam,
to the Bayern guys.
Stop. Be serious for once in your
I just
fucking life.
want to ask to the Bayern guys though. Like, do you know when it comes to like on the pitch matchups? What's the like? Obviously, you guys aren't going to this game like in a positive manner. Then, so like, what's the matchup on the pitch that you guys are most afraid of when it comes to what Inter have and what you guys have?
The
Jan
key
Sommer,
matchup is going to be DiMarco versus Olise. And it's gonna
Bro,
and
no,
also
no, no.
well, actually
Steve,
it's
I
actually
think Lima,
it's gonna be Bastoni as well. Bastoni.
You wait, bro.
But Steve, here's the thing also, right? When it comes to Inter are not. It's not like Inter don't have big injuries. They don't have no. There's no Dumfries. There's no Taremi, and there is no.
Yeah, but they don't need Dumfries.
Yeah, but Taremi is the backup. Like he's not even a starter.
Okay,
Bro,
but
I don't rate him as much. I've seen him in Iran and
you know what
Asia.
it
Like,
is? I you would think in a game like in a game when they're playing against a team like Bayern Munich, a guy like Taremi would actually be good to play.
No, Amar, can I tell you one thing? I ain't getting fooled, bro, because I'm an Asian, bro, and I follow on Asian football. That guy, he's one of the reasons.
He's not a good striker, but he's just a good tall guy.
Man said he's not a good striker, bro.
Bro, but Taremi is not that good, bro. He's not that good.
I mean,
he's been a complete flop at Inter. Complete flop.
It was a free set. Was he a free signing?
Free signing, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Arsenal should have got him, bro.
Bro, he's one of the reasons why Iran don't even end up winning with the team that they have.
Oh shit!
Wait a minute, but they have another striker. They have Azmoun, right?
Azmoun is not really a striker though. He's more like a false nine.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me answer the question Mike's asked, bro. Man said the key matchup. The key matchup, bro, is Jan Sommer, bro.
Yes. He saved Inter from not fucking losing on Saturday, to be honest.
Yep.
Made some great saves on ball. On one was on Boni, the French striker. I forget the other guy's name, but he made some outstanding. He's been in great form recently.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Can I answer a matchup that I'm afraid of? Because
remember.
Can I answer a matchup that I was afraid of, and it's also a reason to why I wouldn't even play him personally. Conrad Limer, bro.
Oh, Limer. Yeah.
We'll get
But
like
who are you
Barella.
playing, bro?
DiMarco,
Man
bro.
wants to play
Personally,
BBL Bowie,
bro,
This is
I would
peak.
rather play Bowie than Limer, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro,
Yes,
bro.
all day.
Bro, Bowie's
All
crap,
day.
bro.
Bro, Liam, see, you're on your own, bro. Bro, this guy
Bro, I
is
don't.
quick
Bro,
enough and
I am
physical
on
enough
my
to
own,
actually
bro.
recover
What do you mean?
to win the ball.
Limer is horrific.
I don't need a Saudi backing, bro.
You know what, Liam? When we lose, I will call your ass out. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, I'm gonna be tuning into you, man's like match reactions.
Oh yeah,
and
that
making
match
it,
reaction
like-
is gonna be peak, man.
Like, bro, I just want to know, like from your perspective, because like you say Jan Sommer, but Harry Kane could pop up with a couple goals. I
Well,
know
he's
he's
the
not a
best
big
striker in the
player.
world.
Bro, he's
but
gonna
yeah,
have
of
to
course.
drop deeper than ever, bro, because Inter's backline gonna hold him, bro.
The way they defend is immense, man. They defend so.
Yeah,
He conceded
man.
one goal
But
in
you know,
he conceded
and-
one
Bro,
goal in the
They have a.
Champions.
They,
And Steve,
Cherby's
you know what's funny,
100,
but
bro, I swear.
you know what's funny,
Man's
Mike?
a
Right? I always
dinosaur.
say this, man. If you ever want to feel stupid, just remember that in 2023, was it 2023 or 2024? Bayern Munich chose to sell Jan Sommer to Inter Milan, bro, to keep Neuer, bro. That's one of the.
Bro,
Wait.
bro,
He
Jan
wanted
Sommer
to
was
leave.
not
He
good
wanted
with
to
us.
fucking leave.
Yeah,
bro.
but wait a
How
minute,
is
Jan
this
Sommer,
he
because
wants
remember you guys signed him in
Bro.
January, and then you sold him in the summer to
but he
Inter.
wanted to
Stegen
fucking
can't even
leave.
keep his marriage alive, bro. What do
Bro,
you
he
mean?
wanted to fucking leave
Oh,
because
he wanted to leave.
Neuer.
He forced it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
Yes.
what do you guys blame him? Because he kind of felt like maybe he would have
Yes,
been
and I
number
don't
one now
blame
that
him.
Neuer was
Okay,
back.
Amar, you're not getting the point. I don't blame him, but don't cause dumb for it.
Alas, man.
No, but
Yes,
I'm gonna be
come on.
very honest. Steve, okay. So let me ask you guys this, right? Do you guys think that when you guys signed Jan Sommer, he should have been the replacement for Neuer right there and then, even if Neuer came
no,
back?
man.
No?
No.
You're
We signed.
smoking
I was
weed,
hoping
bro.
he would be backup, but he didn't want to be backup,
But
which I get.
you don't think he's good enough to replace Neuer?
No, that's the goat keeper, bro. We ain't got the Stegen.
Oh my god. No, this guy. No, I'm not. Never wear sunglasses. I've let him wear the sunglasses.
Yeah, let me put my sunglasses on, bro.
I can't exactly
Indoors,
control that, bro. I can't exactly control that.
Bro, just let Liam wear the sunglasses. خلاص. He's won the heel battle. خلاص.
Fair enough.
Well,
Like,
no, but how can you say Jan Sommer's gonna overtake Manuel Neuer, bro? Manuel Neuer is an innovator. Look at Addison.
Yeah.
Look at
To be fair, the following year he did make bare saves against Madrid, only to
you know,
come in.
he's literally showing them the ropes, bro. Man's the goat keeper.
Yeah.
fair enough. Like, Josh, as an Italian, bro, how do you see the Inzaghi
Yeah,
company
Yeah,
matchup?
Van Gulo.
Vanculo, cazzo. Listen, for me, I just look at Bayern Munich, and if they ain't got Harry Kane there, you know, I didn't realize that your injuries are that bad. You know, no
Yeah.
Musiala. You guys said Kimmich as well, right? He's gone.
No, Davies and Opa. No, Davies and Opa.
Oh, is it
and
Davies?
Ito.
And my
Maldini,
bad.
bro.
Yeah,
And
but
Ito. And
Yeah, but
Pablo and
having no
Coman.
Musiala, that, you know, the guy who's obviously, you know, your most important player in my opinion, that's going to be a big miss against this Inter defense, who I think Steve said it, they conceded one goal in the whole Champions League so far, which is mad.
Two,
You know, they
bro.
got is it two? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Leverkusen, I think, final, wasn't it, as well?
Leverkusen in the last minute, I
Feyenoord.
think, off a set piece, and final the
Yeah.
penalty. Yeah, last
But
minute.
even that's mad. Like, the defensive record they have there is incredible, and you know they got such a, you know, solid back line with a Cherby,
Bastoni's one of the best center backs.
Bastoni, of course, that
Absolutely
German
phenomenal defender.
Bissek as well, I think his name
Bissek's a
is.
beast.
Yeah,
Bissek's underrated, man.
By the
The
way,
German guy, yeah,
by the way, I read what
top
he said
class.
about the game, bro. This guy's mentality is second to none, bro. Get me him at my club. I beg.
Yeah, but listen, for me, I feel that's the biggest worry for Bayern is, you know, where's the goals gonna, if Kane ain't on it, you know, which is very rare that he ain't, but you know, all he needs is a chance. But I've seen you guys already this season, you know, against these big. Fair enough, Company beat Leverkusen and he took down Xavi Alonso, but I've seen enough times with Company when it comes to, you know, Hansi Flick and Emery, he got found out, man. And I feel like Inzaghi's that tactician. I feel like
the biggest obstacle that Inter Milan provide is not just the defending, but specifically their set piece defending and they can score goals off of crosses like mad.
Exactly, man.
They are what Arsenal like were hyped up to be in terms of the goals off corners and shit.
The whole set pieces, yeah.
They have
Set
scored so
pieces.
many goals from set
Yeah.
pieces, and they've only allowed a handful of goals the whole season, and under Inzaghi's reign of set piece, like because that's how Kane gets a lot of his goals, obviously in the air. So
Yeah.
the problem is Inter. I would expect they're going to be on point with their freaking set piece defending, and they're just overall dealing with balls in the air. So
Yeah,
that's the biggest obstacle that they, and also stylistically, we're going to be dictating the game. That's no doubt about it. But that counterattack, we don't have. The defending at times is too static. There's defenders out of place. Min Jae will get caught out. And then
he's been trash, ain't he, for you lot, man?
Like
He's
Davies
been so
being
bad.
injured, he's swept up and saved us so
Yeah.
many times this season because the center backs are dicking around up in the other end. So
By the way, Steve,
I don't. We need to start off on the front, and we need to get a goal.
Yeah,
right?
Bro, we have
100%.
to, bro.
By the way,
We
by the
need
way,
to
Steve,
kill
can I
them
just
off.
ask-
We
can I
have
just
to
say this?
kill them off.
Yeah.
Are you guys at home first? Is it
Yeah.
Allianz?
It's a home
Yes.
game, Alliance.
Oh, okay.
But Steve,
Allianz.
let me ask you all this, right? I don't know what you guys thought because I didn't actually see your videos of like what you guys thought of the Musiala injury. But do you guys think that company should have started Muller in the game against Augsburg since it was against Augsburg and you guys had a game in the Champions League instead of starting Musiala?
No,
I think
because
sub him off.
it's
I
a
think sub him
must-win
off.
game.
Yeah, I think sub him off. You know what I think he should have done? I think when Musiala scored, sub him off.
Yeah, but that was never gonna happen.
No, I get you, but like
That's
if,
the problem.
If
Like we
you're
get
thinking ahead of
like this is let's not make any bones about it. The freak injury.
Oh no, I get it, but I
No,
mean,
it's
here's the
also
thing.
injury because you know what
Musiala
it is.
technically
We
overplayed.
had something similar too, if you remember here. Like
Wait,
Steve,
oh.
we had a similar injury of Barcelona, right? Dani Olmo. His injury
Yeah.
was hamstring. So one of those is, you know what it is? It's funny, Steve, sorry, Zir. On the premiere of our show, we were even talking about the fixture pile about how we were worried that injuries we're gonna have more injuries. Bro, we've just suffered 2 hamstring injuries from both of our clubs.
Yeah.
And this is what is and the worrying thing is there's more games coming because you guys have a big game this weekend against next weekend.
Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund, yeah, they're classic, yeah.
And then you guys have to play Inter away at the San Siro.
Yeah.
How much of a role do you think Barella could play in this game?
I think he can play a big. You know what it is? I actually think the most dangerous midfielder we're gonna face is Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah. He's
I
what
really
makes
do
me
because
truly tick.
bro, our defense could be spread wide open just from one long ball over the top.
Yeah.
His passing range is insane. He's been doing it for
Not
years
just
as
that.
well.
Steve just mentioned set pieces, bro. Who's the one even providing them? Çalhanoğlu, bro.
Yeah.
That's like
On corners, he's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I-
he can
that's-
tackle
anyway,
as well.
guys, I do
that's
gotta
the
bounce,
thing.
but
Yo,
take
Okay,
up
no
episode
problem.
one of
So
it.
take care, bro.
Big up Zio, man.
Big
But
up.
care, man.
the only thing that Inter I would be concerned with them is that they do again. They are a team of two halves, but you have to outscore them in that half that they're doing poorly, and you better hope that they're not up a goal or two, because then it doesn't really matter. So.
And that's why, Steve.
I think we might get a narrow 1-0 win tomorrow,
Yeah.
but at the San Siro,
I mean,
I
that's the thing.
don't
That's the
really
thing
like.
for me too.
I think it'll go to extra time. That's what I'm saying about it.
And that's the thing, Steve. Here's the thing, right? I'll be honest. I can see you guys going through this guy, and the reason I think you guys are going to go through this guy is because I don't know how you're going to do it, but something just tells me you guys are it's going to be one of those marginal wins on aggregate where it's going to be like,
The way I see us advancing is if Inzaghi screws up his in-game management, which he has been doing.
That's
lately,
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
honest.
Exactly.
Like when they brought off Çalhanoğlu against Parma at the weekend, they dropped off. They dropped off in intensity. They didn't have that out ball to play all the time, and they lose a lot of structure without Çalhanoğlu in midfield.
And here's the thing,
Dictator.
obviously, I didn't watch the Leverkusen game, but where do you guys think that you guys had your best half? Was it the first half or second half in those games, in both legs?
Was in leg wise?
No, but yeah, leg wise. So in the first leg, where did you guys play best? First half or second half?
First half we destroyed
Okay,
them.
first half, and
Yeah,
in the
first half
second
we
leg, it was
just
the second half, right?
Popped them off quick, innit?
Okay, and the second half, and in the second leg, it was the second half that you guys played well. Here's the thing.
Mhm.
The thing with Inter is, like you just mentioned, Steve, they are very, very. They're one of these games. They have a game of two halves where one of the halves they would be playing extremely well, and then the other half they were playing very poorly, or they will start poorly, and second half will actually be better, right?
Yeah.
I just think that for your sake, you just need to pray that your team are at their best in the half where they are not actually where Inter are not at their best. Because if you guys get let's say a first half goal, that would be great. If you guys get an early, let's say you guys get a first half goal, then guess what? Now Inter actually have to come out.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Now they have to come out, and you guys could hit them on the counter and hit
Bro,
them with another sucker
if
punch.
they do come out and they spread, bro, they'll get goals.
No, but that's
galore,
the thing
bro.
with Inter. But that's the thing, Liam. That's the thing with Inter that people don't talk about. When Inter actually come out, they actually leave a lot of spaces in their defense. You understand what I'm saying, right? And the thing is, I know Musiala is not in the team, but this is the thing with your attack, right? As much as I don't rate your wingers like Sane, Gnabry, and all those guys, right? What those players have is pace. You understand what I'm saying, right? They can hit. Like if these guys decide to go forward, like let's say you guys get an early goal and they decide to go for it, right? They could decide to play. They could push their line a little bit higher, and if they do that, you guys could hit them on the counter and get a sucker punch them. It's just like the game against Leverkusen, where basically you guys just were in a period where you guys were just on smoke, on point in the attack, right? And I think that if you guys play them and you have that kind of game, I could even see you guys getting like a goal or two, and maybe scoring an early goal, and then maybe sucker punching them with a second before the game is over. I could see the game ending like a 2-0 or 2-1 or 1-0. You understand?
Realistically, you got to put them to the sword when you're at home first, didn't it? You got to try.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what's important. I think Bayern should win tomorrow, because if they don't win tomorrow, that's gonna be a big problem going when they go to this San Siro.
Yeah, but Omar, this is also the problem. Like our defense is not good. We've been like the Holstein Kiel game a few weeks ago. We was like 3-0 up, right? 3-1.
Yeah.
Gave away a late goal. If that's in the Champions League first leg scenario, you just let them back into the tie.
And that's why I said 2-1.
We give away chances to everyone. We don't keep clean sheets.
And Steve, that's why I said 2-1. That's why I said you guys could get an early goal and then sucker punch them on the counter attack, and you're 2-0 up, and everything looks fine. And somehow, some way, your defense will just do what they do best, and somehow Inter Milan will get an away goal. And then all of a sudden, now it's like, oh shit, we were comfortable, and now
more than I think about it, more I think it'll be a draw tomorrow. To be honest, probably like a 1-1.
They'll play perfectly into Inter's plans going back into the San Siro, man. Like, bro, the San Siro, that's not one of the last stadiums you want to play in. Especially
we have a tendency of giving everyone a goal.
I mean, yeah, fair. I mean, that doesn't surprise me on the company.
I would say this, Mike. The last 2 times Bayern Munich visited San Siro, they won.
Yeah.
Fair, but that's like saying though when Arsenal went to Real Madrid in 2006, bro. So you know what they did?
No. But you're saying that, but that was like literally like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, we did. We smashed.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But it's Vincent Company's Bayern Munich. Like,
they beat Bayer Leverkusen 5-0. I'm sorry, Bayer Leverkusen were actually one of the better teams in the Champions League before they got beaten by Bayern Munich. I think people forget that because of how easy Bayern Munich battered them. Right? I think they lost like 2 games. You guys remember? They lost to Liverpool and Atletico Madrid. That's like the only 2 teams that beat them before Bayern Munich did the double on them. So
they were horrible in that Liverpool game as well. Like
they got battered to the post 4-0.
A bit off topic. Yeah, I know I don't watch Bundesliga week in week out, but when I've watched Xabi Alonso in these big European games, I don't like the way he approaches the away games. Like,
no, Xabi Alonso's a pussy, bro.
Steve, what do you think? Steve, what do you think? Because we know what Liam is gonna say.
I ain't talking shit about Leverkusen until we have the fucking title wrapped up.
They got
that Hoffenheim win on Saturday. I'm like, motherfucker, in like the 92nd minute, I'm like, they're not going away.
Bro, Papa Perez, credit card, bro.
Fair enough. Like last Champions League game though, PSG Aston Villa. I want to just get my opinion on the way before I let you guys go. Yeah, I'm not one of these prem tards, yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if Unai Emery had something. because this is Unai Emery. Like I rate Unai Emery quite highly. Yeah, like
It's his old club.
I
I
isn't
do
it?
too.
I just feel like as well with Unai Emery, like, and the way Aston Villa will rise against like the occasion. We're talking about underdog story. Like I
Yeah.
feel like when you have these occasional like Prem teams like we have in the past, I know it's Europa League, but like the Leicesters and Wolves and whatever, when they get their chance, they play like it's their last game that they're ever
Yeah.
going to play in the Champions
Well,
League or
look at
Europa League
Newcastle
when it's
versus
against a team when they
PSG,
come up
bro.
against. Yeah, exactly. Like when Newcastle against PSG, they made it a ruckus. I know it's a
Mm.
different PSG now. And listen,
Yeah, of course.
like they were amazing against Liverpool, and Aston Villa are a worse team than Liverpool. Cool, but that's not how football works. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not how football works. But obviously, we'll get your guys' opinions first. Alfie, bro, like from your perspective, obviously you might have had Unai Emery years ago, but like, how do you rate Unai Emery when it comes to like Europe, man, and like against
Good
PSG
evening.
with how Luis Enrique played against Liverpool, how he set PSG up? What's your perspective going into that?
Well, I think the CV speaks for itself. I feel like Unai Emery's got a very good European record and can go into this game with a lot of confidence with the Aston Villa side that he's got. I mean, you look at some of the players he's got in the team at the moment. Obviously, you see the likes of Marco Asensio shining through in his loan
Yeah.
period at Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Rashford obviously scored a couple, but we all know what Rashford can be like, so I'm not going to talk too much on him. You look at
My bad.
players like Morgan Rogers, brilliant player. Obviously, Yuri Tielemans, Jacob Ramsey. You're looking at these players that have got lots of quality. But then on the other side of that, you've got Dembele, you've got Vitinha, you've got
Doué.
Barcola.
Doué.
Yeah, Doué as well.
Yeah, Doué's a magician, bro.
He's a bit part player. Them and Warren Zaire Emery are bit part players for them. They start for almost all of our teams.
Yep.
Bro, that pussy will rejected my team, bro. He can fuck himself.
Who?
Was that
This is
Emery?
Doué. No, Doué,
Nah,
innit?
Doué, bro.
Oh, Doué.
I wanted
You know what's
Doué at
crazy, right?
Bayern, man. I was.
He would start for this Bayern team for sure.
Of course.
Listen,
He would.
I've got
Bro,
I've got
why
Lucas
do you
packet
come
of
up with
cocaine,
such
bro.
random
Like,
shit sometimes? No shit, Sherlock.
Now you would think about Desiree Doué. I could, because I saw Desiree Doué when he was. I think was he started the night, Steve.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I remember seeing him there, and I watched a few games of him there. I was like, yo, this kid is actually a saucy player. You understand what I'm saying, right? And I remember when they signed him, I was like, yo, and I remember Enrique wasn't really playing him that much. I was like, bro, why is he not playing this kid? This kid actually is a very skillful player. And you could see in the second half of the season, when he started playing Doué a lot more, they actually started winning games. And he was actually
Enrique knows what he's doing with the youth.
Oh yeah, Enrique is a very smart guy, bro.
He is excellent with developing.
And the thing with
You need to say that to Omar only, bro. 17-year-old setting.
And the thing with Enrique is this, right? The thing with Enrique is this, Steve, right? I said this to Bayern Munich fan, PSG fan that I had on my channel, right? Where earlier in the season when they were in poor form, I said,
who was it? Mo.
Yeah, Mo. PSG.
Oh, Mo, that's my guy.
Yeah. I remember when I spoke to him, I was like, even though because around that time they were poor, I think they just lost to Arsenal when we did that show, right? So he was like the confidence was low and he was under pressure. And I said, listen, I think right now he's trying to find like the best formation or the best style that could fit this current team. And I think that what you guys have right now in this squad, with Mbappe being gone, is that now you guys have a team now where there's no superstar where everyone is going to be looking at him.
They got Kvaratskhelia now as well.
No, I mean they have Kvaratskhelia, but you know what it is? He doesn't have like the ego of like Mbappe.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have that huge ego like you had Neymar.
I think that's why he got rid of Kola
in your team. Like, exactly, right? You guys have all these like egos in the team that are all going to be sitting there saying, nah, the team has to be revolved around me or the team has to revolve around me. Exactly. I'm like, what you guys have now is actually a very good balance. And right now, all Enrique needs to do is to just find the right style to bring the best out of this man. And I think if he does, bro, I think you guys will be one of the scariest teams in Europe. And bro, long behold, he's finally found it. Look at how good they've been this year.
Bro, look at all of their players, though.
Everybody.
Half their players are super young. Pacho, super young. Nuno
And
Mendes,
that's the thing also, William, right? When you have such a young team who are playing together in the team like that together for years, right? What you build is a great chemistry for the time when these youngsters get to their prime years, bro. I'm telling you guys right now, PSG are building, they're cooking something strong over there, bro.
Yeah, so
this team that they have now, within the next 2-3 years, I can see this team winning the Champions League if they continue in the way they are.
Yeah, but how many times have we said that before, Omar?
No. But that's the thing.
No, but they're changing. But they're changing their
Bro,
approach.
Alfie wants PSG to stay with them, man.
No.
Champions
Alfie,
League,
I promise you this, right? I wasn't one of those people like 10 years ago. I was one of these people where I was like, listen, they have a good team. I just don't think they're going to win the Champions League because I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. The egos of their players are going to get in the way and they're going to somehow screw it up. I don't think this team has that. I think they actually have a great balance in this team. And that's why I always say, sometimes it's not always the team with the superstars that win the Champions League. That's what people don't realize. It's not always the one, it's not just the names. Because here's the thing. You remember Real Madrid's Galacticos, right? Real Madrid's Galacticos, the first one, the early 2000s one, right? That team, everyone expected that team to dominate Europe. Bro, that team won one Champions League. One! Yeah. There was a point they couldn't even reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And they had so many superstars in their team.
We knocked them out that one year, didn't we? 2006, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you guys knocked them out of the round of 16 in one of those times where they could.
Look at this guy getting in jab,
right?
bro.
I remember even Bayern did that in 07. I think the year after Steve, right? The year after the Arsenal knocked them out. The year after it was Bayern who knocked them out in the round of 16. You understand what I'm saying, right? And even like that's the thing. I think that when it comes to clubs that build like these dynasties, they usually build it from a very, very early time. Like they slowly cook it. Like it's like even like if you remember Liam, the team that won the Champions League in 2020, that team was being built for a while. That team you just get up and that good. 100%. You guys bought Nabry, sent them on loan. You guys got like guys like Coman under Robin and all these guys. And then you saw that season when Robin and Ribery left. Everyone was thinking, oh yeah, bro, this Bayern team, they're just
bro.
You guys already replaced them and nobody knew. Nobody knew you guys already replaced them. That's why when you guys were dominant, everyone was like, bro, what's wrong with how did this Bayern team where this guy's like, bro, they were building.
Bro, we replaced them with two Afro bums, bro.
Yeah.
No, but that was after you guys won the Champions League. Let's be real. That team.
Yeah, but that was Serge Gnabry was cooking them, bro.
That's my point.
But he was outstanding. Yeah.
But also, this is the thing. Right? A lot of the times, when you see teams that always build squads that dominate, like if you look at like even Barcelona's team from like 08 to 2012, people don't realize that team was being built since Rijkaard was in charge. You understand what I'm saying? Because because on the Rijkaard we had guys like Xavi, Iniesta, Messi. He gave guys like Messi a chance.
Pedro in that team.
Bro, stop talking about Hornswoggle, bro.
I'm being that serious, right? A lot of the players like who were at their best in that team, the players that I think Pep brought in were like obviously the Busquets, right? Busquets and Pedro and Thiago Alcantara, right? And some of those players, those were the players he brought in. And also the reason he brought those guys is because he actually coached those guys in Barcelona B. You understand what I'm saying? So he knew the players we had in our academy who would actually cook.
And that's why he brought him to Bayern, right?
What? What's that?
Thiago.
Yeah, Thiago came from the. Yeah, he came from the.
No, I'm not even trying to troll.
No.
I'm not actually not.
No, that's what I'm saying. So and the thing is, Thiago was the. You know what's funny? If you remember Liam, right? You guys hired Pep Guardiola, and what was the first thing he said to Bayern Munich? He said, "The one player I want, I would buy. You can buy any player, but the one player I want you guys to bring is Thiago."
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, right? Because he knew he knew Thiago was like the jewel in our team. And the thing with Barca is we didn't know what we had in our hands, but Pep knew. But when he left, he was like, "Yeah, this Barca team, they're gonna underestimate this kid because they don't."
That was the only good thing Pep did, bro.
But that's the thing. but this is my point. The same thing applies with PSG. I think with PSG, right? The way they approach this transfer window, right? When they went and bought Pacho, like I didn't know who Pacho. I mean, I think Pacho. Where did they buy Pacho? Was it?
He was in the Bundesliga, bro.
Exactly, right? When they bought
and Bayern was just like, no,
man, we're gonna get Eric Dyer. Let's get Dyer. You know what it was, though, Steve, don't you, bro?
Yeah, you guys. What the fuck was that? Dyer and left Pacho, bro. Crazy.
Bro,
you know what's crazy, Liam? I said this to you, Liam. The most ruthless Bayern Munich team I've ever seen are always the ones that saw the best players in their league. Bro, you know what's crazy? The prime Bayern Munich would have seen the potential that Pacho had seasons before this guy even left.
I was speaking to Steve the other day. I said we need to start buying from in the league again.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, Steve. Steve, think about about it, right? You guys had the Bundesliga on lock for over 10 years, right? And
Bro,
you guys were like
look
one of the
at it,
best
bro.
teams in Europe. And the
Look at
best
the players
and the
in our
only
team
reason
right
you
now.
did that was because you were buying the best players in the Bundesliga. Like all the best players would always go to Bayern.
Bro,
And it
look
became
at
a
it.
joke. It became a
When you
running
deep
joke.
it.
Everybody knew anytime a good player was in the league who wasn't playing for
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, you knew Bayern Munich were going to
Now they go to Dortmund. Now they go to Dortmund have been buying more domestically than us recently.
But that's the thing. But no. But
it's
that's
not
the
You
led
know
to them
why though, don't you?
success, but
Since
that's what.
Tuchel, bro.
No,
Ever
but
since
but
Tuchel.
no, but
Because
here's the thing.
Tuchel loves these stupid prem.
Yeah,
No, but
exactly.
here's the thing. Yes, Dortmund can buy those players. Guess what? Dortmund can buy those players, Steve. But guess what? When those players become good, guess who's buying them from Dortmund?
Real Madrid, bro, not us.
You guys bought them, bro. You guys bought Lewandowski,
Bro, that was
We were talking about years ago.
That was.
But that's my point. But Liam, that's your prime. That's why I said prime Bayern Munich. That's what they would do. The best version of Bayern. They would always buy the best players in their league first before anybody else.
I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to destroy me from the inside, bro.
No.
Let's circle it back. Let's circle it back.
I'm just keeping the PSG. Let me tell you something, right? The point I was making when I mentioned the PSG thing, I said they bought Pacho from Frankfurt, right? That guy was one of those players who was doing well in the league. Yeah, he was a player that was doing well in the league. But if you were not watching Bundesliga, you didn't know who Pacho was. You understand what I'm saying? But PSG did their scouting, so they knew. You understand what I'm saying?
Van de Ven as well.
Right?
Yeah, Van de Ven Wolfsburg, yeah.
Lacroix, I wanted Lacroix.
Yeah, he was at Palace, yeah.
Who's playing for Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah, he's doing well there as well. Him, Chris Richards. Chris Richards, well, you can argue.
Look, I know that Lacroix and Van de Ven were two players I actually was hearing from the Wolfsburg defense where I was like, people were talking about these two.
Yeah.
But to keep it PSG, right? Doesn't do it. I saw this kid at Stade Rennais. I was like, yo, this kid is a baller. When he signed, I knew. I was like, yo, PSG have bought a great player in their hands here. Vitinha was doing well at Sporting. And everybody, and people were thinking Portuguese league, Bruno Fernandes, that's the same thing that Bruno Fernandes was like. You know, people didn't trust Sporting Lisbon players.
Damn, you listen to some fucking stupid people.
And also this is the thing, because you know why?
Fucking Bell
people forget Vitinha was at, but people, this is the thing, Steve. People forget that Vitinha was at Wolves. And he was
people forget that.
People don't remember that he was at Wolves. So people think
he was a reserve there.
But that's the thing. But also that's my point, right? The fact that PSG, right, saw the potential that Vitinha had. João Neves from
Benfica.
He was one of the best. Like he was another one of those players that I've been hearing for years when you guys signed him, right? When he made his debut, people were talking about him being the next big thing. Guess what? PSG said, "Ah, cool, we'll have him." Look at the team that they're building, bro. They're building such a great team and such a young team, and a team that basically are gonna learn together.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you guys, right? Go ahead.
With that being said, in this game specifically, the reason why I'm giving Aston Villa a chance is because I've been watching Unai Emery very closely from the Villarreal, like when they went on a run in the Europa League, and the way he adapts to every like individual Europa League game, or every day single European game, where he'll sit in that 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, and he'll like just switch it every time he comes up against a certain opponent, and he'll sit deeper when he needs to. He'll like press when he needs to. I feel like if Villa just stay solid as a defense for just like the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if they settle in and they just try and hit on the counter, the one thing Villa players love to do is run into space. With Morgan Rogers driving with the ball, and then Leon Bailey, whether it's Leon Bailey, Rashford, Watkins, whoever it is, they love running into space. And as much as
against PSG, bro, years ago.
Yeah, and like this is the thing with Rashford. As much as I've watched the last couple of games that people have been hyping where he's been scoring, he hasn't played well, but he's been scoring cool. And all you need in the Champions League is to score, legitimately, just in those moments. And what I feel like in this game is like Emery knows how to adapt to certain opponents. So where like if they just have like the players that play defense, like play on their day, they can be a really solid package in defense because they won't play like the same way in the league where they just go 4-2-4, constantly pressing. Then they'll sit back in the back end of the game when they've run out of energy because they can do a bit of both. But the reason why I give them a little bit of a chance, as much as PSG aren't that naive, there's still space to run into no matter how high you play up anyway. No matter how good you are at playing high up, there's always space to run into. And don't get me wrong, Nuno Mendes and Hakimi will cut that out. But like they've got the players to run. They've got the players to run into space. Like it's a bit different to Liverpool. PSG is at PSG Stadium. So that's the thing. I think Villa should take that as confidence a bit. I think they like because teams like that, yeah, trust me when I say this, they want the second leg at their stadium.
Oh yeah,
They want the second
100%.
leg at their stadium
Yeah.
because, especially if you're playing as the underdog, try and survive
Yeah, of
through
course.
the team you're stadium you're not expected to win at first, and then take it to your ground. That's how we tried to approach the Europa League. I know it's a bit different, as I said,
That's
but
why I was
like,
asking you. That's why I
yeah,
was
yeah,
asking you because PSG just won the league.
yeah,
Are they going
exactly.
to be
Yeah, they've
hungry,
already
bro?
secured the league title. I mean, they're going for
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're trying to go for an invincible season because they haven't lost a game yet.
And Enrique
Oh
said
my
it as
days.
well. He wants the invincible.
And that's the thing I rate it, man. But here's the thing also, Mike. But this is the thing what I think with PSG, right? If you look at PSG, especially this year, the way their team attacks, and that is what is scary about them, right? They're like sharks in the water, bro, whenever they smell blood. Like, bro,
Yeah.
when they go
Freaking
forward,
quick.
they are ruthless. They are ruthless.
They're
Bro,
quick.
when they get that first goal, they're hungry, bro. It's like
They remind me of
bro,
Bayern.
that's why I use the
Yeah.
analogy of
2020
shark in the ocean, bro. The moment they smell blood in the water, bro, they go crazy. Like I saw the game against Saint-Étienne. They were 1-0 down. And then the moment they got the
Saint-Étienne played
equalizer,
really well the first like
Yeah,
20 minutes.
exactly. And you know what's crazy?
barraging their goal.
they had a slow start, but the moment PSG equalized, you knew it was over. You knew it was over. And the thing is, also, what I want you to take into account is, Mike, right? As much as I give all the credit to Villa haven't really. This is the first big test they're actually having in the Champions League, I would say, apart from Bayern Munich. And to be fair, they played Bayern Munich at home, so it's different. You
Club
understand what I'm
Brugge was
saying, right?
definitely a test.
But come on, but
Because they
Club
beat
Brugge-
because Club Brugge beat them.
I know, Steve, I know.
But they'll rise to the occasion, Omar,
But Steve,
because of the opponent.
No. So that's the thing. When I say real test, is because I'm talking about a team where they're more likely to lose than actually win. Let's be real. When I looked at that game against Club Brugge, even though yes, you can say Club Brugge beat them in the Champions League earlier, a lot of people when I was sitting there saying, yeah, Club Brugge are definitely going through from this time.
Sure.
It's not like people are looking at PSG like they looked at Club Brugge. It's different. You understand what I'm saying, right? In that game against Club Brugge, you could see Aston Villa knocking Brugge out of the Champions League, right? More than you can see them knocking out PSG. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the pressure is different. There are levels to this for me, right? I think that this is the first time that they're playing a team in the Champions League where they're genuinely the underdogs. And they're massive underdogs. You understand what I'm saying, right? So I want to see how they're going to handle it. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm not giving them a zero chance because you just mentioned it. They have a good team and they've been playing well in the Champions League. I've been impressed with them. And also, I rate Unai Emery. I think that Unai Emery is a manager who can just pull something out of nothing. You understand what I'm saying, right?
That's my thing with the whole thing as well. Is like teams will rise to the opponents they face, especially in the Champions League, and especially in knockout competitions as well. Like as much as it is the biggest test, they're going to think that as well and think we need to rise our game even more here. We know what we're capable of on our day, on a one-off game, where they can switch it up, etc. So that's what I personally think. But Josh, what do you think of Unai Emery coming up against Luis Enrique? Obviously, again, as I said with Alfie, like you've obviously seen Unai Emery at your club, but you've also seen him knock out your club in European football.
Yeah.
You see what he's like on the European stage. Like obviously, as we mentioned, they beat Bayern Munich earlier. They've been good in the Champions League. Like, what do you make of the matchup?
I think Emery knocks him out. I think PSG. I actually think they'll do it. I really do. I feel like, for me, listen, I'm not on this. Like PSG have been unbelievable this season, and that's all credit to Luis Enrique and the rebuild he's done there. I think you guys pointed out perfectly. You know, when you said they ain't no longer got them big stars anymore, no longer them big egos, and that's helped them. They're actually a proper team now. You know,
and you know what's funny, Josh? Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Let's be real, right? I feel like a lot of us knew that PSG would be at their best the moment they lose him. This is why
I'm gonna dispute that. No, I'm gonna dispute that. People are like, oh, they're gonna fall off because they don't.
Bro,
I was hearing that more than
when I looked at the way they were approaching their signings in the summer, I was like, nah, they're gonna cook now. Now they're gonna cook because now they don't have to worry about having an ego of Mbappe in the squad, telling them where he wants to play.
No, people thought that they were gonna fall off.
I didn't think it was going to be a straight
people thought, but for me, I didn't. I felt like them.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying I overall heard that PSG are finished now. They don't have Mbappe anymore.
But yeah,
what I mainly heard.
Yeah, Josh, you said, do you think I agree with you when you said that Emery is going to knock him out because I actually think they've got signed for PSG. Like, I don't think it'll be easy, but I think they'll rise to the occasion, sort of thing. I think people underestimate them.
I think it's insane. Don't get it twisted. I would love for Aston Villa to knock PSG out, man.
Yeah, I think he'll do it. I mean, you guys rightly said he's Emery in European competitions. I know he's more Europa League because he's won that how many times? Like four times now. It's mad. So Sevilla 3 and I think Villarreal. Even in the Champions League with Villarreal, like man got them to a semi-final. He was like,
knocked out Bayern Munich.
he knocked out Bayern Munich. He knocked out Juventus, right?
And the funny thing is, it's not like the Bayern Munich that we're looking at now.
No,
Bayern
no,
team
it wasn't.
out
Yeah,
was actually
it was actually a
very
proper
good.
Bayern Munich. Like,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
was
and-
You know what?
Wait,
Now that you
wait,
mentioned that, you know what's funny? Now that you mentioned that,
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, just let Josh land. Let Josh
he's
land.
good,
Let Josh
he's
finish.
good. Nah, it's no, it's facts though. Like the end of the day, and that Villarreal side he had, yeah, there's all Spurs rejects half of them. He had 1 Foyth, yeah. He had Lo
Yeah.
Celso, he had Francis Coquelin, he had a 40-year-old Raul Abio, right? Like this is what he's doing
Danny
with this other
Parejo.
team. Danny
Yeah.
Parejo, yeah. Like this is what he's doing. He's getting them semi-finals, and he was so close to beating Liverpool. And then, of course, he capitulated in the semi-final, but it's Liverpool. And then they went on, I think they won the whole... No, Real Madrid beat them in the final, sorry. But still, he knocks out Bayern Munich Juventus with that Villarreal team. Now you look what he's doing at Aston Villa, right?
yeah,
And he's getting the best out of Rashford, yeah? Like, everyone called this guy finisher Man United. As soon, look what he's doing right now for Villa. Look at Asensio, you know, at PSG coming out. Wait, he can play, by the way.
He can play against PSG.
Oh
I
my
just realized. Oh
he's
my
gonna dunk on
god.
them. He will dunk on them.
Hey,
also,
that's
can I-
motivation. Gives you a Coutinho.
This, Mike. You know, Emery is a former PSG manager too. So,
Yeah.
Henry Fulmer, yeah,
Oh, wait,
exactly.
look, Warrior was asking here. Wait, did Emery and Enrique face each other once? I think it's a 6-1
Yeah,
comeback.
the 6-1 they did, yeah.
Was it that game, yeah?
They did, yeah, they did, to be fair. They did, to be fair. But-
Warrior asked, how do you think both Villa and PSG set up? I think Villa set up a lot deeper than people think. I feel like
Yeah.
when you see Josh against how they played against, like, I know it's Villarreal, but when he switched up in Europa League games, like how he comes up against you and Man United in the final, like he loves to sit a lot deeper in
Yeah,
like,
when he
like,
came to
European
us,
games.
because they did us in the first leg like 2-1 at home.
Yeah.
They probably battered us. But then and all we need to score was 1 goal in the second leg, if you guys remember, right?
And and you guys drew, and you guys didn't even
We
have a
drew
shot on
0-0.
target. You guys
Yeah.
had zero shots on target in your own stadium, you know.
Exactly, bro. And that was down to Emery as well, and how well we set up. So I think he'll do that. And as you guys said, I think his advantage that they have to play at PSG first, you know, because they can get something in that first leg, take it back to Villa Park, and they got a really good. I think only Arsenal beat them at Villa Park this season, if I'm not mistaken, in all competitions. So
You
like
had
they
to
got a
get
really
that
good
in,
record
yeah.
at Villa Park. To be fair,
Had to get that in there.
And
I'll say
this too, and I'll say this too, right? Just to add to what you guys said, because I forgot the Bayern Munich game, because the Bayern Munich against Villarreal game was very similar to what we're seeing now between PSG and Aston Villa, where you were looking at it and you were thinking, as much as Villa were playing well, they're playing against this Bayern Munich team who are very, very, very good, and somehow, some way, they knocked them out, right?
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, man. When I really start to think about it, this is why I'm not giving. This is why I'm not completely disregarding Aston Villa, because I just think Emery, bro. Emery could just pull something out of the bag. He could just
So I'm
like.
thinking.
I wouldn't be surprised, Steve, if somehow they go to the game against PSG at the Parc des Princes, where they're like 2-0 down, getting dominated, and somehow they get a goal and it's 2-1, and somehow they go back to the Villa Park and win 2-0 or something crazy like that and knock them out.
Yeah, I feel like as well, like Warrior makes a good point about their midfielders. I feel like what Emery's gonna do, because sometimes usually does this, where like he'll play Morgan Rogers on the left, but he'll let him go a lot on the inside, play Luca Digne at the left back, so he just overlaps a lot more, and then just play Tielemans, Kamara, and Onana. So he has the physicality, but he can let Tielemans sometimes just go a bit more forward and create an intense. So they play Rogers and Tielemans just behind the striker, and they'll have someone on the right hand side running it behind. Either that, or like they'll play Asensio there, because that's what he did at the start of the season, where he was trying to be a bit more hard to beat and just trying to get results. Just play a couple more midfielders so they don't get beat as much, because Kamara's back. Onana's like playing more off the bench now because Tielemans and Kamara are that good. Like Kamara's like one of the most underrated players. Like majority is when a player gets injured for so long. When a player's injured for so long as well, they don't get talked about. But especially in the Premier League, he's one of the better sixes, man.
The crazy thing about him is, I remember Steve. You know when he was at Marseille, he was considered one of the best up and coming midfielders. I remember
he was the right back as well. He played right back as well.
Yeah, and
how the fuck did Villa get him on a free?
Yeah, they signed him on the free.
Marseille.
When I remember when Villa signed him, thinking, yo, they actually signing. How did Villa actually pull this off? Because I remember he was actually being linked to some of the best teams in the league. Like I remember even like the Liverpool United were looking at him. I was like, bro, when they pulled it out, I was like, wow, it's crazy. I couldn't believe that they actually pulled it off. They actually managed to bring him in. And yeah, you're right. Injuries has been hindering him, but when he's actually played, he's actually been good. That's not a surprise to me because I actually rate him very highly.
Yeah, they've got a lot of big game players. Like I just think like Emery's got a lot of options where he can set up his midfield in a certain way that can nullify PSG. Like, and it's going to be, and if they do, then fair enough. Because listen, Vitinha's been top, Jared Evans has been top. Like they've got a lot of good players, PSG. So, but Villa, I feel like they're the perfect match with the way they defend and the attributes that their midfielders have. It's like perfect. It's perfect for the way they can set up, even if it's at their own ground and they want to set up deeper and then press higher a lot when they need a goal. Like Emery's good at adjusting that. Emery's good at keeping balance where he's not too defensive, he's not too attacking. Like he can, especially in cup games as well. In the Prem, you can criticize his high line a bit, but when it comes to cup games, like he likes to adjust it. So
I'm gonna be very honest to you, Mike. I would have given Aston Villa a more of a higher chance if they were playing the first leg at home.
I think they prefer the second leg at home, though.
I think if they played the first game at the Villa Park and got the win, and even if it's another win, I would trust Unai Emery to go to Parc des Princes and somehow scumbag a draw or something like that even more. Because then he would know what kind of setup to make in the second leg because he would be like, cool, we've already won the first leg. Now we actually have to go now to the Parc des Princes and actually defend. Because now if we defend, we win. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear that. I think Villa would prefer them to play away first. Just because they want to terrorize themselves away, so they can take it back to Villa Park and try and take it to their home crowd. Because you see, when you're underdog, and especially a Premier League club, you take it to your home crowd, it's nuts. Like Villa Park, that's going to be going crazy in the second leg, where it's like it's a must-win, where underdogs fucking will give it our all sort of thing. We've got nothing to lose. We need to put everything out there, sort of thing. So I think they'll want to just see what they could do in the first leg. Like if they're 1-0 down or 2-1 down, they'll take that. They'll take that because they'll feel like they can score two. They're capable of scoring goals on their day. And Warrior says, can Villa deal with PSG's press though? Do you know what I think? Yeah, because like you don't really have the option going long with Watkins. Like Emery likes to play up from the back in a specific way. Like it could go either way. I feel like they're going to test the waters, not in the first 10 minutes, but like when it gets to the end of the first half and see how they benefit of like playing in certain different ways. Whether they'll just knock it diagonal to their fullback and then just try and have one pass over the top against PSG's high line instead. So I think they could deal with it, but just they won't play to their full ability the way they would usually play all the time. I think they'll try and switch it up in game. That's just me.
But this is the thing, bro. This is why I rate Enrique so highly, because I feel like when you look at what Enrique has done at PSG, I think now people are finally starting to give this guy the credit he deserves. Because here's the thing, I think a lot of people when he was at Barcelona, and then he had like that front three and that team, and he won the treble with us. Many people thought, oh yeah, he had Messi, so how worse could he have done? I think that when you look at this PSG work, right? If PSG somehow, if PSG win the Champions League, he's golden for me, right? Because at the end of the day, to have lost their best player in the summer, right? And then come out this season so quickly and actually challenge for all competitions, bro, you got to give all the credit. Like, at the end of the day, Josh, this is the guy you needed, man. This is the guy you guys needed.
Who? Arsenal?
I'm telling you, if you guys had Enrique, you would have won 2 league titles.
Oh, you mean Enrique? Mate, I was still kept Emery at this rate, mate.
The last 2 years you guys challenged for the league, bro, he would have won one of those 2 league titles.
Oh, all day long. Yeah, but Omar, don't you think if we kept Emery and gave him 700 million, we would have at least won some trophies?
I think he could have done it too.
Yeah,
definitely. Like Emery's too harshly treated. Like not even let's say even if Emery needed to go, like when he came back to the Premier League, people just like, oh, but look what he did at Arsenal. Like I'm not saying Potter's the same, but we're getting the same with like, oh, well, look what Potter did with Chelsea, sort of thing. Bro, managers had certain environments working better.
This is why it's easy. This is why it's easy for us to always laugh. This is why when all these Arsenal fans sit there and say, oh, why are people always so angry? Why are people always so angry with us whenever we're back at Arteta? It's because at the end of the day, you guys choose who you want to support, who you don't want to support. There was this energy did not exist when Emery was in charge. Emery had a season and a half. And you guys hounded him for a season and a half after he took you guys to 5th and to a cup final. Europa League final, who, by the way, every Europa League final he's been in, he's won apart from the one
from Arsenal.
You understand what I'm saying, right? Right? So at the end of the day, this guy did his thing with a squad that wasn't even his. He had to Wenger squad, right? But these guys were not merciful. They were on his neck until he got sacked. And then these same fans have the audacity now to say, I think that he's building something. We just can't get rid of him in the middle of the project. Bro, this guy's had 5 fucking years. He's completely out the entire squad.
The thing is,
build the squad, build his own team, and still can't really fuck all with the team that he has. The team that he won his last trophy was Emery's team.
Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly. And Emery even came out and said that when he got sacked from Arsenal, he said they didn't give me the players that he wanted. He wanted Zaha, and he got £72 million.
He gave him Pepe. He said, "Give me Zaha." They said,
he wants Zaha, yeah.
Yeah,
He
then
wanted...
Zaha wouldn't be making Snapchats about being the streets were forgetful, bro. He's been pissed about that.
Emery was treated too harshly at Arsenal, man.
Bro, that's my point. This is why when it comes to Arteta, at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's hypocrisy, man. You can't like, this is the thing with people like me, right? As a Barca fan, when we put managers pressure, you know every manager is gonna get it. I would say the only managers who we maybe may not go at is like legends, like with Xavi. I think with Xavi, right? A lot of fans had enough of him, and a lot of fans were like, "Listen, we don't want to be at the point where we're gonna start asking you. We don't want to be starting to do the Xavi out or starting to boo you, do any of this stuff, right? Because you're a legend, right?" And I think Xavi understood that because he knew that the fans were slowly beginning to not trust him anymore. That's why he decided to leave, because he didn't want to get to a point where the fans would turn on him. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Because if it was any other manager, they would have turned on him very quickly, right?
Yep.
But that's the thing. At the end of the day, right?
But
this is the thing, right? Even despite all of the things I've just mentioned, when it comes to clubs like Barca, we are known for being the way we are. If a manager is not good enough, we will get rid, right? And the fans will let it be known. And it's everybody. Nobody's exempt, right? But when certain fans are like they put so much pressure on a certain manager, but then for another manager, like, well, maybe not, maybe this, No. It's like me and Steve. Like me and Steve, we're both Americans, right? When we didn't want the previous manager, and we made it clear.
Don't even
from,
fucking Omar.
Omar.
Talk about the PSG Villa game. Not fucking. No.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't know I was bringing back PTSD. I didn't know I was gonna bring back PTSD. Okay, sorry. I apologies, right? Listen. No. So
you said a 4-year-old fit,
so I'm just gonna say this, right? At the end of the day, my point is, right, and I'm not even gonna bring this up, right? But the long story short, just know this, right? We keep the same. The point I'm trying to say is, we keep the same energy for everything. If we don't want someone, we make it very clear we are not a fan of them. You know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna be like, oh yeah, we like this guy, so if he proves us wrong, then guess what, right? We have to take it. But if he doesn't prove us wrong, then we have to keep the same energy. And a lot of these Arsenal fans, it's not like that, bro. That's why you guys are gonna keep being where you are, and you're gonna continue being memed, and you're gonna keep, and everyone's gonna be laughing at you. And not you, Josh, because we know you're one of the real ones. But some of these fans, bro, they're gonna keep living like this. Is why, bro, for me, as a guy just watching from the outside, all I can do is just watch in silence, mics. I'm just sitting there, got my popcorn, just enjoying the show, man. Because you just, I know it's not nice for Josh, but for us, it's just, it's amazing for us. We just have to sit back and just enjoy the carnage.
Yeah, honestly, I just live off other people's pain as a West Ham fan. Like whenever someone else is going through something, I'll just laugh at them to forget that I support my own club, bro. But I say that publicly, bro. I'm not shameless with it. But listen, it's been a fantastic show. What the fuck did you say?
I didn't even give my thoughts on the Villa PSG game.
You didn't give your thoughts. You didn't give your thoughts. Oh, sorry, bro.
Nobody ever fucking asked. It's not like I watched.
Because the conversation was flowing. I thought, like, oh, sorry, my brain's so fried. I'm a terrible host. Steve.
Mike, now you know how I feel whenever we do Two Boys FC when you're all going.
Listen, Omar, I'm at my depth. Steve.
Go ahead, Steve.
Like, do you agree with me and Josh when it comes to like Unai Emery getting signed, or do you think with Enrique carrying on what he's doing?
I think it's gone mad underrated that Villa are on like a 7-game win streak in all comps. I will say that first because they got smacked up to Palace 4-1 away, and ever since then they've won every single game. So I will say that is a big positive, but let's not act like PSG aren't on a big winning streak either. They got 6 in a row as well. For me, I think Villa can be defensively got at sometimes, even when they try to stay organized. That Villa Forest game on Saturday, Forest had some good chances. They didn't take them, but they definitely had them there on offer. And I feel like I just feel like PSG have far too much in attack to kind of overwhelm Villa. Now, the way I see Villa advancing, if they did advance, I think Paris Saint-Germain get by like 3-2 on aggregate, maybe 4-2. I think the way Villa do get by on aggregate is if they got penalties.
Yeah, bro, like
favor, especially at home. I think that's the one way they advance. I don't know if in 90 they can get a win at home, because I think best case scenario is that Villa get a draw away. Because I noticed that Villa away, their away results over the course of the season haven't been great, and PSG are also superb at home. They're really, really good. And I do think, like, just overall talent-wise, I think Martinez would definitely start for PSG. But other than that,
over Donnarumma, you think that Donnarumma is not a good keeper, Steve?
Martinez definitely better than Donnarumma.
I rate Martinez better than Donnarumma. I think Donnarumma is a good goalkeeper, but he makes some awful mistakes. So
Donnarumma looks like a pro club's character, bro.
Yeah, he fucking does.
Absolutely, this guy.
But honestly, I see PSG winning probably, I don't know, like a 2-0.
That's the prediction I made too.
And then I see a 1-1 at Villa Park. I feel like it'll be. I feel like Villa will play with the lead in the second leg, like 1-0, and then PSG will get a goal late to kind of.
I can see that. To be fair, which I think everyone.
I think Villa will definitely be a challenge for them. But let's be real; they dealt with Liverpool, who are a far better side. I mean, the league shows it.
And also, this is the most important thing too, Steve, to add. I don't think this PSG. I think this PSG team is different from the teams in the past. This team will not underestimate Villa. They're not going to go into that game thinking. They're not going to go into that game.
Paris Saint-Germain have gotten better as the season gone on.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that in this game, and that's why I say in this game, I think they will come into this game realizing, yo, this Villa team are actually very good in Europe. So we can't sleep on them. Right, we need to kill them off in the first leg.
I just think PSG. I don't like the fullback matchups for Villa versus PSG. That's the biggest problem. And Paris Saint-Germain love this. Vada can go left or right. Due can go anywhere. The amount of combinations that they can make, and it's such quick. So fucking. You'll see guys out of the corner of your TV screen just slice through the middle, receive a through ball, and slot it in. Like
as terroristic as it is, sometimes what Emery does when he's away from home, he'll go 6-3-1.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like he'll go 6-3-1 and just let the wingers like track back and then let the fullbacks tuck in. That's what I think he'll do. He'll defend deeper.
Yeah.
And as PSG accelerate more, you'll see like I don't know, it might be Morgan Rogers and fucking Leon Bailey. I don't know who, but they'll help.
Yeah, and I think they have enough to contain Villa's attack defensively because they have recovery pace.
Yeah, sure.
And Hakimi and Pacho. Yeah. Okay, Marquinhos not gifted with pace, but he's not slow. But I think even if Villa try to catch on the counter, they have the recovery pace to kind of deal with that. And they have enough disruption in that midfield with the physicality of Joao Neves, who doesn't look super physical, but he can definitely he can handle himself. Yeah,
physical for his age, especially as well. He's only young.
Yeah,
he's only like 20.
But for me, I think the one guy I'm looking at in that midfield is Vitinha. I've said it before. I think this year, from performances wise, I've said it before. The only midfielder that I think is better than Vitinha for me is Pedri. In the world.
Or Barella.
Barella is another one. But honestly, like when I've been asked my 3 favorite midfielders this season, like from what I've seen, I put Pedri, Vitinha, and Barella. I said those 3 out of every midfielder in Europe this season have impressed me the most. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because they're actually like the hearts of their team. Like that's the thing. Vitinha in that midfield, he is the heart of that PSG team in that midfield.
Yeah.
Because he's always like, every time you see PSG have done well this season, Vitinha in that midfield, he's cooked. He's absolutely cooked. I remember
Bro, they dominated Liverpool.
Yes, in the game against
That's
Liverpool.
that's what. And the thing is, guys, Liverpool didn't really go for it against them. They played conservative relative to their usually the way they play under Slot. So
that's true.
You're telling me, I think, okay, Emery might be a better manager than Slot, maybe not, whatever. He has inferior personnel. Good players still.
I think he'll set up better, though. I think
he
he'll set up more.
Yeah.
But that's why Max I said 2-0, because I think that they will handle it well in the first half, and somehow maybe the game will be 0-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
Right? And then second half, with all the defending that they do, they're going to eventually get exhausted, and somehow PSG are going to break through and get a goal. And if they get a goal, and then when they break through and get a goal, I think they're gonna.
Their options off the bench.
Them with a second.
The options off the bench as well for Paris Saint-Germain are ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying.
I think
I think the second goal would be. I think the first half will be 0-0, and then they'll get like a goal like in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and then the game will kind of slow down for a while, and then they'll kind of hit them with a sucker punch in the end.
It'll be a good tie though.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. I've said it before. I'm looking forward to this game. I think people
I think another big thing to account for as well is that Liga let them take off the weekend game coming up. So they'll play the first leg. They'll play the first leg, and then they'll play the second leg. They don't have a league game in between the first and second.
That's scummy. That's scummy.
Yeah,
it's smart.
Bullshit,
It's smart. It's smart, but it's scummy. But I rate it.
It's funny because Benfica did the same thing, Steve. Do you remember?
Yeah.
When we played them in the Champions League,
Eredivisie does it a lot.
Scheduled their weekend game so that they could get like a full rest against us, and it didn't work. We still beat them.
Smart.
I respectfully, if a big six club does that in the Prem, they can suck them other.
It's smart because they have the league wrapped up anyways.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why?
Bro, we need that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Bro, you know what's funny? You know what, right? Credit to League On.
So I think that's also what goes in real quick. That's what I also think goes in PSG's favor. They'll have a rest in between.
But you know what that is, Steve? You know what that is, Steve? That is a league actually looking out for their clubs.
Yeah.
Unlike certain leagues. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, I'll be real though.
Their clubs, bro. So
I'll be real though. Like, listen, with the Prem, you don't need to look out for the big six clubs even more than you already fucking do, bruv. So they can fucking hold down. Yeah, well, they could all suck them others.
I'm talking more of the Bundesliga and La Liga, bro, because our league, for some reason, these guys just enjoy, like, especially like our big club, the big clubs. They're like, nah, you guys are the spotlight because you guys are the ones who are the most.
We have Inter, bro. We're screwed.
You see my point? No rest.
Yeah, fair enough. Liam, what do you make of the Enrique matchup? Like, what do you make of Villa PSG?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, isn't it? Because, you know, Emery's going against his former team. You know, and they didn't really give him too much of a chance because he had just had egomaniacs at that team at that point.
Thanks.
I don't know because I just feel like it's PSG's year to win it. The way that they're playing.
You know what? That's true. You know it's funny. I said, Liam, didn't I tell you this last week when we spoke on the like, bro? Every time we've seen the Alliance Arena host a Champions League final, we've always seen a newly crowned champion. Every time. There's never been a team. You guys know that, bro. 4 times they've hosted the Champions League final, and 4 times, every time a champion have been crowned, it's always been a brand new winner. Villa won their first Champions League at Munich, right?
Oh,
Nottingham Forest won their first after their back-to-back Champions Leagues at Munich, right? Chelsea won their first Champions League at Munich. I think who else? Another team won their first Champions League in Munich.
English teams at Munich. What's wrong with these English teams, bro? Are they always winning at Munich?
I think it's Porto.
Arsenal might win it first.
Wait, who?
Arsenal.
Oh.
Arsenal. I even said this, bro. I said this. I don't know who I said this to, Steve. Right? I was like, I think it was when I watched along. I was like, bro, there's only 2 teams that are left in the Champions League that have never won the Champions League: PSG and Arsenal. And we know that the last times that the Champions League has been hosted in the Alliance Arena, we've always had new champions. So Imagine, I said this to Zir. I'm like, Zir, imagine in a terrible, wild scenario, you guys reach the Champions League final in your home stadium again, right? And then you face Arsenal.
That'll be the ultimate get back.
For seasons, bro. Or every year in the Europe, you always knock them out. And then in the one time, in one
When
game,
will it end, Robbie?
they win their first league in your stadium. Nah, bro.
Will it end? That's like the most iconic, like battering for me. Like, do you know why? Because like that was when I started watching AFTV. Because I remember when that Bayern Munich Arsenal 5-1 happened at the Allianz. Yeah, I think that's the first time I watched Troops. It's like we couldn't even compete with fucking Leicester, let alone fucking Bayern Munich. Blood. I was like,
that famous. You guys remember that famous picture of like them doing the fan camp in like the Allianz Arena and the Allianz Arena right there, bro. That is such an iconic one, bro. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, they're complaining about the flights back.
When I said, you know what's funny? I don't remember who the fourth team is, but I know another team won their first Champions League in Munich. I think it might have been Porto, or it might have been Star Bucharest when they played us in the final and they beat us. Or that's Star Belgrade.
Could never be my fucking club, by the way, losing to Romanian team in a fucking...
No, bro, it's not even Romania.
Yes, Steve.
Not even Al Hilal would do that.
Steve, it's not Romania. I didn't meant to say Star Bucharest. I meant that Star Belgrade. They actually won the Champions League in '88. And
Serbians, Romanian,
No, so my point is, right?
They're all trying to steal your money and pickpocket.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Mike, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that was actually in Munich. I will have to go back and check, but I know for 100% that every time a Champions League final has been played in that stadium, bro, we've seen you champions. So PSG, I'm not gonna lie, the way PSG are running, bro, if this trend is gonna continue, I can see them being the ones to actually be the new champions.
As long as it's not against us,
I'm sticking with my pick of Inter Milan, to be honest.
But Inter Milan have already won it, so I mean.
No, I'm saying no. My just generally my pick to win it.
I said Inter if Real don't win it, but like it's Real, so it's just I can't count them out. I'm sick and tired of them.
I didn't think I would say this.
You're not gonna be sick and tired of them tomorrow.
Trust me.
I didn't think I would say this at the start of the
season. In that.
I didn't think I would say this at the start of the season. Yeah. You're
gonna be stuck in that beat Arsenal.
Listen, Mike.
Steve's unhinged.
5-0 win.
This Bayern Munich fans. They're big frauds, man. These guys. Absolute frauds. Look at this. All right, man. Chill. You absolute fraud, man.
The Arsenal hate boner. You know what I'm saying?
This guy. No, but seriously, right, Steve? I think when you, I mean, listen, I didn't think I would say this. I didn't think I would say this at the start of the season, but I would even fancy. I genuinely fancy us because I fancy us to win the Champions League.
You have enough in attack. You do.
I think you know what it is. I feel like the only reason we're not gonna win it is gonna be because we're gonna end up underestimating one of the teams we're playing. Either it's gonna be Munich in the semifinals, or even Dortmund, or even Inter, where we're gonna be going into like that's the one thing I'm like, bro. Hansi Flick, that's the one thing I need Hansi Flick to not do. I need Hansi Flick to not make the same mistakes that the other managers did when they reached this side of the round, where they were thinking, all right, cool, we've already won. You understand what I'm saying? Right? The tie is already over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think Hansi Flick is different. I think Hansi Flick will learn from like the last few years of what Barca have been doing, and he will show these players that listen, man, do not underestimate anyone you play. I know in this side, I mean, let's be real. When the kind of the draw was made, everybody called us the favorite. People were talking about El Clasico final because they kind of looked at that side and were thinking, okay, who's the most informed team in this side of the draw? And they looked at us because we were actually the most informed team. However, even despite all of that, I even said this to you, Liam, right? I was like, at the end of the day, I still am not going to sit here and say, yeah, it's a formality because on your best day, if we underestimate, you guys are going to beat us. It's not like you guys don't have the team.
Bro, has anyone got an oxygen mask, bro? Because I think Mike's is dying, bro.
Sorry. I was so sorry.
I think I'm going to be quiet, man, because you guys are
I'm listening. No, I'm listening, Omar, but I'm trying not to contain. I'm trying not to distract you by laughing, bro. Oh my fucking this! What the fuck is wrong with you, Steve?
Nothing.
Do you not realize you're on YouTube sometimes?
Bro, this is no.
Don't care. What?
bro. You know what's funny?
I'm gonna change my fucking
If
behavior.
you're in the playback with Steve, right?
Fucking kidding me.
With me, Steve, and Flores, bro, you would know this is a regular thing. He can just go south whenever he decides to just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Was it the Florida's birthday stream? You was drunk as fuck.
This guy was drunk, and you know what's crazy, right? Steve, this guy, Steve Flores kicked him out, and this guy was in the comment section and was still doing. Because I'm like, bro, this guy's actually nuts, bro. He's actually.
Hey, what he called Havertz earlier, I can't repeat, but Jesus Christ.
Oh, we know.
Like that. Hey, no, this stream has been fucking brilliant. But listen,
it's been brilliant, man.
Shout out to everyone that's here, man. Everyone's link is in the title. Steve's link is in the title. Omar's link is in the title. Liam's link is in the title. Also, Zia, Josh, and Alfie, who were to leave. But listen, everyone was brilliant. There's a fantastic panel. Fuck, you know, like this is the best. This is the best Champions League preview show you're going to see this week. So if you're not like the video already, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to me and subscribe to everyone. I'm trying to reach 1K for the end of the season. We're now on 850. The countdown starts here, people.
Yeah, 150 guys. Come on, man. 154, man. We're almost there.
150 more. 800. We're on 850.
Come on, y'all.
It's so close. So close. But listen, thank you guys for watching. Big up to the panel as always. And yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna watch alongs to Real Madrid Arsenal. That should be fun. And PSG Aston Villa during the week as well. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social media's in the description. If you want to follow me, email for any inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Good.